Listen, you might as well go ahead and hit that like button so we can get started. Yo, Ty is here, so welcome to the official Tyesse Report. Night vibes, dive deep, bringing truth and support. World news, church happenings, and all the entertainment trends. This is some serious ish, let's break it down and jump right in. From LA to Atlanta, uncut, no PG. Tyesse is here, making sure you know the T. Every topic will get dished, cause this is some serious ish. Late night musings, night grooves, pull up a seat. If you're at work, at home, or on a flight to DC. Church happenings, world news, and all the daily grooves. This is some serious ish, but we keep it chill, we keep it cool. We'll be laughing and thinking and learning some more. Tyesse is here, making you in the know for sure. For sure. Daily brews, hot topics, and the culture we embrace. This is some serious ish, but we're covered by His grace. Late night musings, night grooves, pull up a seat. If you're at work, at home, or on a flight to DC. Church happenings, world news, and all the daily grooves. This is some serious ish, but we keep it chill, we keep it cool. You're part of the Ty Squad, you know you're on the list. It's the official Tyesse Report. Tune in, cause this is serious ish.
Let me hurry up before they start saying muted. I'm a little late. I'm a little behind. If I look a little proclaimed, y'all know today is my vitamin D day, and I'm taking 50,000 IUs of vitamin D, and it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. Okay. And then also, I don't know. I think I'm dealing with some sort of sinus pressure. You know, it's just like sometimes if you get any type of pressure in your head, in your right here, oh my God. Okay. Let me stop complaining. God is still faithful, and He's still just to do what He said He's going to do. All right. I don't want to come on complaining, but y'all, please check your vitamin D level. Check your vitamin D. If you don't do nothing else, check that vitamin D and make sure your vitamin D is okay. As far as me, tonight I ain't looking for nobody. If we get 200 people, we get 200 people, that's fine. I'm not looking for nobody tonight, because listen, it's one of them nights. Okay. Sappho, thank you so much. Thank you so much for 25. I appreciate you, beautiful. Thank you so much. We're going to wait just a minute or two for a few more people. We're going to get through this. I'm trying to get out of here in an hour. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here in an hour. We'll pick back up tomorrow. All right. Prophetess A, good to see you. My these damn lights. Oh my God. Okay, I wish I could put these girls on dim. Rochelle, love you. Gail Coleman, Letty, love you. Letitia, Dr. Golden, Andrea, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. We're doing a Tuesday night live, right? We normally don't. I'm supposed to be off on Tuesday to take the vitamin D, but sometimes the news don't allow for that. So we're here. I'm McDonald. Good to see you, brother. This is a Tuesday night, kind of rare, but we are here. And we got some. Oh my God, y'all! We got some conversations. We got a lot of stuff. You know. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Samarta, hey, do me a big favor, thumbs up the video, everybody, and also let your other Ty Squad members know that we're live and we are on the air, so they are in the know. So just hit that. There you go, right there. Hit that subscribe button and let them know that We're live and we're on the air and we're ready to go. All right. I'm just waiting a few more minutes because when I tell you, once I start, Rochelle, baby, I'm going to run through this. The only thing I have to take my time with is the HBCU, but everything else, baby, listen, get in where you fit in. I still look halfway decent. All right. Sharonda, LaFrance, thank y'all for tuning in. I am like Jewel Bell. Glad to see you back in the chat, Jewel Bell. They moved you all the way up into the VIP section on the right now. Pat, thank y'all so much. I apologize for the mix-up. I had forgot to change the time to 9:30, and time got away from me. So please forgive me if you came in at 9. I apologize for that. Okay. It's just one of them Tuesdays, y'all. Okay, enough chit-chatting. What we got? Okay, we got 229. We got 229. We good to go. Okay. Oh, let me get my comments over here. Cancel. We had a great time today on the Black Gaze channel. If you have not been over there, please stop by and support us. We'd appreciate you coming by. The Black Gaze channel. Hold on a second. Y'all don't have to keep sending me the video of the lady talking about King Jives. I've seen it, y'all. Y'all keep sending me. I got it. Thank y'all so much. The lady that's over there, I think her name is Boo Thang. I saw Boo Thang video from the other 4 people that's sitting to me. Okay, all right. I agree with 100%. Everything she said, I agree with it 100%. Hey Pringle, hey Jerry Gerard. All right, let's get into a few of these little things, the little promos we got, y'all. Let's knock these promos out. I may put the link to it. To the lady that did the King Jives commentary. I may put the link in the chat. And let y'all listen to her. Oh, should you just? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see some tasks. Well, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let me see something. Give me a minute. Because I don't have time to be sharing links and all that. Okay, her name is Boo Thang. Her name is Boo Thang, and so she did a live. And okay, let's see here. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Y'all bear with me tonight, y'all. I'm dealing with 50,000 IUs in my body of vitamin D. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, we got it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna play this audio of the lady that had some commentary on King Jives. Her name is Boo Thang. And then I may share the link at the end, y'all. She has a channel called the Boo Spot. I guess it's called the Boo Spot.
I'm just getting out of the gym.
Okay, hold on. Let me play this for y'all.
Battery 90%.
Okay, hold on. That's why.
Connected to John's SQ3FE.
I'll drop the link because there's some parts of it I don't want to play.
Into the car, y'all. So listen, right? First of all, let's say
only know music.
The gym, and I'm waiting on some food, so I got time because that's what I'm doing. So let's talk about Jives for a minute. Oh my God, they're bringing my food to the car.
Okay, they're bringing her food to the car. Let me know if y'all can hear this pretty good.
Brought my food to the car, y'all. So listen, right? First of all, let's say this. Prophet Karn is not God. He doesn't have the final say in anybody's life, whether they live today or die tomorrow. That's first things first, and you know that. At this point, it's giving internet bully. It's giving that you are bullying him. It's giving that you are taunting him. So I don't follow King Jives. I've been binge watching the Four Kings because I kind of want to know, okay, well, what's going on with the Four Kings? I wasn't watching anybody when in that time period. So I wanted to watch the content. And honestly, the content is funny. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's informational. So I've been binge watching the Four Kings. So with that being said, his current videos, latest videos are being suggested to me because I'm watching his videos, right? So I've heard him say several times on this platform that family's off limits. Family is off limits. Family is off limits. But you're sitting here making content about this man's deceased father. Again, it's giving bully energy because what has Prophet Karn again personally done to you that you just keep on, and it's like ridiculous. And you have a platform. So you have people that are going to watch you and people that are going to agree with you, whether you're right or wrong. And so you keep on because you got this little, and I've heard people talk about how many subscribers you have, but your subscribers don't match your views. So the subscriber count at this point don't even matter because your subscribers don't match your views. You just have a small group of people. You have a small group of people who are agreeing with what you're saying and are agreeing with what you're doing when it's wrong. I've been watching your content, and it's kind of like he wasn't this person always. He wasn't this mean, vicious person. Jives, when did you get this way? Was it YouTube that have pushed you to be this person? Because you was not always like this. Okay, so anyway, because I don't even know where I left off at. But I saw you were live today, and this is what prompted me to do this video. Because at this point, like, what are you doing? You're a whole grown man. Worried about another grown man and what he's doing with his family. So I guess now you're insinuating, King Jives, that Prophet Karn does not care about his father or love his father because he's traveling and still working. First of all, that could be his way of keeping sane by keeping busy. Secondly, I've heard Prophet Karn say several times that his father was not in his life. So you don't know what the relationship between them is. You don't know nothing. You're just getting on the internet just saying stuff. And it's like, why? Why are you taunting this man? Why are you bullying this man? And then I see your people who watch you and support you. They're asking, hey, Giles, are you going to talk about this topic? Are you going to talk about that topic? You so busy engulfed in what another grown man is doing. You're not even doing legit content. Like, what are we doing? I think it's disgusting. And it's really like a case that needs to be studied. Why are you so engulfed? Why are you so upset? What brought you down this dark road and dark path? Because again, I've been watching your content. You were not always like this. And if YouTube is what has pushed you to be this person, maybe you need to take a step back from YouTube. I can remember just recently, you were supposed to be.
Okay, all right. And so there's a part right there that you'll have to listen to on your own. So I'll let you listen to that on your own if you want to. Okay, so that's 5-minute mark, 5:13, and that's 7 minutes and 20 seconds. The video 7:20, and that was at the 5-minute mark. Okay. I think she is on point, but I just think she must not been around. She must just got here. Great commentary. I stellar commentary, but I just think like, ma'am, it's like she just discovered what everybody else already knows, right? Yeah, nothing new to us, but I guess to her, honey, she, y'all know. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Okay, everybody, let's jump into it. He who haveth an eye, let them see. Yeah. I'm just saying, y'all, I ain't got nothing to do with it. All right. Where are we going first? We are going to promo. I'm excited about this, y'all. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. I'm excited. Carrie is being turned into a series, right? Stephen King. If you're a fan of the 1976 classic, you're probably gonna, be just as excited as I am. October 7th is turning into a series. A bullied young girl, had a prom and she let her revenge be known. So I can't even emote how excited I am about Carrie being turned into a whole series. He'll turn this on Utah. How's he gonna turn it on me? I just listened to the lady and just share what the lady said. What did I do? He'll turn this on me? How? I don't even know the lady. She's a random. I don't know that lady. How's he gonna turn it on me? I don't know why would he turn it on me, but why would he turn it on me? What did I do? Okay. Stop, Tyesse. Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know why, Nikki, I don't know why you would say that, Carrie is being turned into a series, and I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very elated. Oh, it's always my fault. Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. You're right about that. All right. Something else I'm super, super excited about is our girl Tasha Smith has oh my gosh, she got some heavyweights. It's a movie coming out called Women Like Us. It's starring multiple award-winning actresses. Director Tasha Smith is coming to Netflix. Stars Whoopi Goldberg, Vivica Fox, Jennifer Lewis, Vanessa Williams. Oh my God. The comedy follows a recently widowed woman who is persuaded by her lifelong best friends and sister to spend what would have been her 30th wedding anniversary on a trip to the Hamptons. Now, mind you, me and Naida was just telling me that I need to go to Martha's Vineyard, right? Naida was just telling me that, y'all. And I was like, oh, I know. I also want to go to the Hamptons. All right. Anyways, what would have been her 30th wedding anniversary on a trip to the Hamptons. During the weekend, the women confront grief, friendship, marriage, sisterhood, and the realization that it's never too late to pursue their dreams. Okay, the film is being produced by Higher Ground, the production company founded by Barack and Michelle Obama, along with Marco Film Studios. Production is expected to begin in New York City this fall, and no release date has been released yet. But I'm looking forward to this, right? Divas doing it for themselves. There was a big announcement today that kind of shook the internet, y'all. It really did. Yeah. It's going to be very good, Fab Nurse. An announcement came through that really shook the internet today, and that is Michael B. Jordan, award-winning actor in his own right. Michael B. Jordan is going to be starring as, what's the man's name? Thomas Crown? Okay, or is that his name, Thomas Crown? Okay, the Thomas Crown affair. Now, y'all know this was made famous by Pierce Brosnan in the 90s, like 1999. And so Michael B. Jordan will be starring as Mr. Thomas Crown. And this is coming to theaters in March. Wow. Well, I'll be there, honey. Yeah, I'll be there. I want to take a look. I want to see. Yeah. Another. Yeah, I want to see what's going on. Now this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see right here, honey. I want to see Carrie, but this is what I want to take a look at. Yeah. All right, so y'all, let's be there and let's come out in droves. It's going to be filmed in IMAX, only in theaters March 5th. Do we have any birthdays around that time? Any March 5th birthdays? And there was another one in the 60s. The original was in the 60s. Okay. Do we have any birthdays around March 5th? Please let us know in the chat at this time. March 5th, the last part of February through March 7th, maybe. February 27th through March 7th. Any birthdays? Thank you so much, Ann Hicks. $10 for exemplary content and favorite blogger. Thank you. Oh my God, y'all make me feel like $1 million. Y'all make me feel like $1 million damn bucks sometimes. Okay. Let me see. We ain't got no birthdays. Okay, we ain't got no birthdays. Good. All right, let's keep it moving. I can't get off my house. This is a really hearty docket. Man, tonight's docket is really hearty. If I may say so myself. My God, today. The video that I was going to show y'all, I was trying to get it situated. It was too long and the file was too big. Some of y'all know Candace Matthews. She's the lady that wears the cowboy hat and she cuts up, Candace Matthews. Well, her and Brother Cornell X ran over to a local Popeyes in Houston, Texas. And the news media has already picked this up in Houston. A young man went in and bought some chicken. He sat down at the table to eat the chicken. And when he opened the chicken, there was it appeared to be a used condom inside of the chicken. And you could see that the chicken had been cooked, that the condom had been cooked in the chicken. And I'm not trying to gross anybody out. Dinner should be over. But first thing I said, well, could somebody have done this and tried to get a lawsuit? But they said you could see the condom was cooked in the chicken. Now they said a used condom, but I don't know how they know all that. I don't know. That was visible. The manager said, hold on, let me call corporate, let me call my GM. I have no idea what to say, Ty Squad. There's a lot of people do nasty things at restaurants, y'all. You just don't know. I don't know how a condom got inside of a piece of chicken. If somebody can tell me in the chat, like, how is that even possible? That a condom was inside of a chicken? Yeah, baby. They went and tried to shut the place down, like they tried to tell people, but people still like, one lady didn't. They were trying to tell people don't go up in there. Martha West said they need to shut the whole place down. There needs to be a thorough investigation by the the company that issues out franchises. Corporate needs to really figure out what's going on. A used condom found inside some Popeyes chicken. Any newly released employees? Now that's the first question they may need to ask, Brother Man. I glanced at the article. That's what I thought it was. I glanced at the article. That's what that was. I just thought it was a piece of plastic. I would have immediately threw up. I think, even if I would have ate any of y'all, I would have threw up just by the thought. That's just absolutely positively, you just cannot. You go in there for a leg, a thigh, and don't get me wrong, no shade. If you get Popeyes and it's kind of fresh, they have some. The chicken is pretty good if it's fresh. They say New Orleans is the best location, right? New Orleans is the best location. Percy Littleton, thank you for $10. Love your content. I'm hooked. Well, I'm glad that you're hooked. I'm a good addiction. I'm a good addiction, Percy Littleton. But let me say this, Percy. I tell everybody, don't OD on me. Don't OD. Don't OD on me. Take me in little doses. Don't OD on me. Okay. I'll see if I can put the link to the video in the chat at the end, y'all. That is absolutely and utterly disgusting. I would have passed out. Yeah, that chicken look good. I don't want none now. I don't even know if I could go in there right now. It may be a minute before I can go in there. Okay, let's get to this major announcement from Tyler Perry. Beauty in Black. It has been announced today that Beauty in Black will be returning season 3, August 27th. August 27th, Beauty in Black. What's going on with all these cash apps tonight? I don't know what's going on. Thank y'all so much. Beauty in Black will be returning August 27th, and it looks like everybody that got clipped. Everybody in handcuffs. That's the way it needs to be. That's how it needs to look over there at the White House. Everybody in cuffs. August 27th, right there on Netflix. So everybody be prepared. Be prepared for an all-new season. I absolutely cannot wait. Beauty in Black is back. Beauty in Black is back. All right. Shout out to Tyler, Eugene, Bartholomew Perry. Okay. Let me see where I want to go first. May have to delete some of these. You know what? I think I'm gonna start here first. Okay. Let me start deleting some of these so I can get more organized here. Okay. Okay, so Tyesse Report, you guys have heard about Nolan Wells. There's been a lot of new developments with Nolan. May he rest in peace. There's been audio that people say sound like people are saying things, and white folks on the right side saying, it sounds like they're talking about the boat, right? And then there are other people that hear them saying something with regards to Nolan. Audio experts have, said that it does sound like that's being said. We also have a new report today out that Nolan basically was very intoxicated, very inebriated. There's also a new video that came out of the boat, them being in the boat, and he was not on the boat. There's so many conflicting things that I don't understand. How are they returning on the boat, but the boat was sinking? See, I don't understand that, right? And some of this stuff just makes no sense. They try to come up every time you ask a question, they come up with another they come up with another twist. I don't know if y'all noticed that, right? Every time something's not answered, then they'll come up with another rationale or reasoning for it. So we basically have audio that has been obtained where it sounds like they're saying, is he dead? And wake up Nolan. And, it sounds like they're saying that. And then we also have new video footage of them on the boat going back without Nolan. There's just a lot, y'all, to unpack. And it's kind of hard. It's really hard now to figure out what's what, because so many people, this has been so polarized by so many people, and racists have really hijacked this. White racists have hijacked this. We have the mother. They're leaving comments on her employment page. They're leaving reviews to the mother that has lost her child. I don't care if he was drunk as a junkyard dog. But they're leaving nasty messages on her employment Google review page, y'all. So imagine that. A mother lost her child and they're over there leaving comments. How how sick, how spiritually and morally bankrupt do you have to be to have that much hatred in your heart? That's all we want to know. So, yeah. So they're leaving a nasty comments and reviews on her job's webpage. Yeah, that would be like harassing Emmett Till's mother or Trayvon Martin's mother. That's the equivalent. Like with PCP, yeah, that is diabolical. Yeah, it's I've never seen anything like this. Nancy Grace really ain't shaking it up like I thought she was. She's just being very dramatic and every night just like, girl, I thought Nancy Grace was gonna shake it up a little bit. She ain't really shaking it up the way I thought she was gonna do it. This is one of those cases where I feel like a lot of people are not saying anything, and by them not saying anything, it just makes us look a certain type of way. Very nasty work, Brother Lindy. So Nolan is all of us black men. We've all been his age, and we've all been in his circumstances, right? So when you look at Nolan, you look at yourself if you're a black man. They did, Brandy. I believe the people who left reviews. Oh, of course they are. I know. Yes, of course. But that's what black women have to live through. We live in a hateful country. Yes. Nothing surprises me. Well, yeah, nothing surprises me either. So we'll keep an eye on this, you guys. We'll keep an eye on this case and keep, bringing you updates as they become available. Yeah. It's just sad. There's no way I can describe it. Just a sad situation all the way around. But God sits high and he looks low, and I believe that we're going to get answers. I really do believe that eventually we're going to get answers. Okay. I want to go over to Chicago. I want to go over to Chi-Town. Let me see. Bring this down. Okay, so there is an LGBT, a gay man, and he went live and made some very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very explosive allegations against let me get this man's correct. Hold on, y'all. Let me get his correct title because I want to say a House of Representative, but I think he may be. Hold on one second. Let me get this really quickly, Time Squad, because I want to make sure we get his. One second, Time Squad. Give me a minute. Okay. So a gay man from Chicago is coming forward with explosive allegations about Illinois State Senator Emil Jones III. Okay. He claims the two were involved in a relationship. Hold on, let me put my disclaimer up on it because I listen. I can't do it. All right. He claims the two were involved in a relationship, but says he decided to speak out after allegedly being mistreated by the senator. According to the man's account, again, the man's account, not the official Tyesse Report, nor Tyesse Jackson. According to the man's account, the senator frequently hosted sex parties and allegedly pressured him into engage in sexual activities with other attendees. These are allegations made by the accuser and have not been independently verified. I did watch the video, and there's a video of him in bed with somebody that looked like the senator, y'all. I ain't gonna sit up here. I ain't gonna hold you. Time Squad, I'm not gonna hold you. There is a picture that he showed. He said, because people won't believe me. And the man was laying behind him, a man that looks like Senator Emil. Okay, so, and Senator Emil is married. I think Senator Emil is married. Wait a minute, okay. I listen. Okay, so talk about it, Tyesse. All of this is alleged, but sometimes what happens is that when men cut men off financially, this is what happens. If they move on and get another guy, move on and get another boy, you know, and I'm using boy, not as in young boy, but boy, get another dude, then they get, this happens. But you have to be really out of your mind to put yourself in this kind of risk, you know, saying something like this. For what? A lot of people live duplicitous lives. A lot of men live on the down low. It will come together when it comes together. Outing people never works. It never works. You know, so people become very dangerous when they feel like they're being outed. So, and Chicago politicians are a whole nother breed. So you really pushing a young man, outing this man, and for what? A couple of likes, a couple of views, sir? Well, I mean, if this man is, you know, really what you're saying, why can't people just live in their truth? Craziness for what? Just be free, Lord have mercy. Living their truth is, you know, it's easier said than done. So living your truth is not always, you know, expedient for people for multiple reasons: society, your job, religion, community. So it's not very. It sounds very easy living your truth, but for some people, it's not. Liberation is not even an option. Yeah. You're somebody else's God. What did he out him for? That's everybody's asking that question. Let me see who that is. Arvell, yeah, Arvell. That's what we're trying to figure out. What was this for, sir? Are you trying to set up a Beagle channel? Are you maybe trying to get some extra views on your TikTok? Chi-Town, folks, is real gangster. It's 3 cities, baby, I'm telling y'all, that I've heard about. One is Chicago, another one is Detroit, and the other one is Baltimore. They say them politicians ain't no joke in Chi-Town, Detroit, and Baltimore. That's what I heard, Crystal. But listen, some of these young gays, you have to just let them figure it out on their own, baby. Some of these, that did look like him in that picture, though. You know, I'm just saying. But some of these young gays, you can't tell them nothing. They're hard-headed. He gonna have to figure this one out on his own. You know. Yeah, it's mind-blowing, Gail. The consequences of living in your truth seem to be much worse. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not living in your truth. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Chicago politicians are cutthroat. He's supposed to hold it down and keep it peace. He gonna learn. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Is this somebody from Chicago? Oh no, that's my cousin. Oh, she telling me good night. Good night, baby. He's angry because he went with our food all day and the man had to cancel. Well, you know, these young guys, honey, you know, a couple of calls get missed and then they go straight to the damn internet. So I was in a meeting, I was gonna call you. Well, I went to Facebook Live. Yeah, Crystal, that's straight out of Detroit. That's the other portion of the night, Samara. Girl, what do you like? What you trying to get, an envelope? You know, a couple more. You want to try to get August and September rent paid? I mean, girl, what's your tea? Because listen, I've seen people come up missing. I'm being honest. And nowadays they know how to make it look like an accident. You walk in, cross the street from Walgreens, and a big truck just come and run you over. I've seen girls come up missing for less. Everyone has their personal preference, but if I was messing with somebody that looked like that center, I wouldn't have put this on social media. I mean, listen, let me say this. Everybody, you know, somebody for everybody, y'all. Okay. So I don't want to make this about Senator Brother Emil's looks. You know what I'm saying? Is he trying to swim with the fishes? Child, I'm gonna keep an eye on his on social media. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on his page and keep him lifted in prayer. Keep an eye on his page, honey. Somebody may start calling you. Somebody may start calling you and asking you, "Have you checked on the children?" They may start calling you, talking about, "Have you checked on the children?" And then you come home And there's a note on your door. I know what you did last summer. Oh my God. Yeah, somebody for everybody. That's what I was always told. Oh, let me see something 1 second. I was always told somebody for everybody. Hold on. Loving you is beautiful because it's do 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 do. Okay, hold on. Okay. Simone, I'm just being honest. God is calling us higher. You just talked about stunts and shows. I really could have put this on my stunts and shows, but I wanted it to be a standalone story because of the senator, because it's a senator involved. This ain't just a regular, I'm out in this dude that I'm kicking it with that work at the Lenox Mall. This is a whole state senator, from Illinois. This is somebody for everybody, but that somebody needs to be, yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me move on because y'all are best. I cannot. Let me move on. Okay. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I love you. I thank God for Jesus. I thank God for the ways and for the means. I thank God for the whole thing tonight. I do. I really, really do. All right, young man. I will keep an eye on it. Keep your ID on you and something they can identify you with, baby. Keep some mace or some pepper spray on you. Center needs to be screening. Oh, screening the people better? Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's get to this. Floyd Mayweather. Wow. Floyd Money Mayweather. It's really amazing. I always say all the time, y'all. And I do my disclaimer. Nobody has a responsibility to use their money for anything that they don't want to. But I always say that I believe personally, Tyesse believes that too much is given, much is required. And you would think that some of these people would really, for all the millions of dollars that they have, they will be doing more for their people, for Black people, right? And so I'm gonna let this Instagram that I follow break this down for y'all. And she's also sharing some information from another Instagrammer. So all right. Okay. Let's get this video wrapped.
I know y'all didn't think that we were just gonna breeze over this Floyd Mayweather situation. Floyd Mayweather expressed his dying support for Israel and his Jewish friends. And them same Jewish friends have stolen $175 million from Floyd Mayweather. So you abandoned your real friends to pick up some new friends. Okay, I'm talking about this man waving the Israeli flags. He support the IDF, all of that. And they have stolen $175 million from him. Now he's suing for his money back. Boy, you know you ain't getting that money back. You're cooked. You should have read the fine print. Oh, but according to 50 Cent, you can't read. I don't know, Floyd.
Breaking news, Floyd Mayweather is in big trouble with his money again. The undefeated boxing champ just filed a lawsuit saying he got scammed out of $175 million by some guys he trusted, including his close friend Jonah Recknix and a few others tied to shady deals. And according to the lawsuit, by the way, TMZ is reporting all this, they tricked him with fake investments, stole cash from wire transfers, lowballed him on $100 million worth of jewelry. He only got back like $13 million, and even made his private jet and other stuff disappear without telling him. But here's the simple news version. Floyd handed over control of his cash and deals to these guys, and now he claims they ripped him off big time. He wants every penny back, plus extra punishment money. But here's the funny part, and yes, we are laughing hard at this one. Floyd spent years selling out hard for Israel. He visited the country, bragged about standing with them 100%, donated big money and supplies to their causes, including bulletproof vests and water, and even picked up awards like World Champion for Israel. He got super cozy with the same circle of guys who have strong ties to Israel. And what happened? The very people he was hyping up and supporting allegedly turned around and took him for $175 million. Classic clown move. You sold out for Israel and they cleaned out your pockets. Floyd, the money man, got played like a rookie. Tough luck, champ. Maybe next time, read the fine print before you pick a team. This is nothing but laughable, and you deserve it.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, Floyd. 175 million. That's a lot of cash. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am devastated tonight. I'm just devastated. Oh, my God. What? Oh my God. Oh, my God. My heart is broken in a million pieces. Oh, I'm so distraught. Get me off the floor. Okay. They did the same thing, y'all. I kid you not. They did the same thing to Mike Tyson. Let that man completely broke. When they finished with Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson probably had about, what, $30? Enough to go get him some Popeye's chicken. Well, not no Popeye's chicken. Not right now. Some Church's chicken. Hold on. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Alicia. Alicia 888, thanks for showing up today. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't mind stopping by some of my Task Force social media. If y'all have programs, I'll stop by. Thank you for 888, Alicia. They did the same thing to damn Mike Tyson. They cleaned him out and left him nothing. Is he gonna get the money back? Probably not, because they make these the way they write it out and then you sign it, child. They gonna wear your ass out, honey, in that courtroom. They gonna say, "Well, you signed it. Did you read it?" Well, no, I didn't read it. Well, can you read? They say you can't read. Yeah, I can read. Okay, read this. Watching from the West Coast is different, Tyesse. Yeah, I used to live on the West Coast, so it was real different when I lived on the West Coast too. I'm on at it's 7:36 on the West Coast. Yeah, it's 7:36. The sun is probably still out in Oakland and LA. He should have kept his money in the credit union and let Miss Carol oversee. Child, I'm telling y'all, should have had some little, some black bank where it's an old lady that looked like Weezy Jefferson that worked the front desk. All right, y'all. I don't have anything else to add. I really don't. I ain't got nothing else to add. I wish I did, but I don't have anything else to add at this time. Okay, let's get to our 3 stories, y'all. Let's get to our 3 stories. First of all, number 3, we're gonna start with Thank you, CC, for $15. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't know what I don't know what I'd be doing that's so special. I just come on, I just be myself. And then it's just that y'all be flooding me. Y'all just flood me, I just come on here, I do my content, I'm being myself. I don't think I'm doing anything extraordinary, The love just it's overflowing sometimes. It just overwhelms me. Is that what Brian Carn said? Overwhelming. Ooh. Sometimes it just overwhelms me, y'all. I wasn't expecting all this cash, and I wasn't. And randomly, you see, wow, it was $61 for a double night. All right. He has ever proved his literacy level. Has he ever proved his literacy level? I don't know. It's your gift time. Yeah, they say it's my time. Okay, so Funky DINENA, y'all know Funky DINENA, YouTuber. Some call her the Godfather of YouTube because she's kind of like one of the first. She's one of the pioneers. No shade. So, Funky DINENA basically was on Don Lemon today, y'all, and there's a young man by the name of Daniel, and Daniel is very, you can tell he's whitewashed. Okay, I went to his social media and I can see that. I think he has a white boyfriend too. Okay, all right. Anyways, Funky DINENA, they were talking about, Nolan Wells, of course. They were talking about Nolan Wells and what happened. Funky wound up saying something to the effect that, I'm sorry, but you're giving house Negro vibes, and whatnot. And they were already kind of like, no shade. They were already kind of being shady towards him. They were already being kind of shady towards the guy already. And so, Tiffany Williams, thank you for $10. Your love gift. Thank you. They were already being shady towards the man. One of my favorites was on as well. Clay Kane and Reese, they were on. In my opinion, Time Spot, I think Funky did not have to do that. Not in front of all those people. First of all, he's younger than you. First of all, second of all, it's a situation where you can't unring a bell, right? Right. And so I just felt like it was just really a bad thing to do to a young guy that's out here trying to, make a name for himself. I saw that he was he was a news anchor, I saw that he was doing that. And so I don't know, y'all. I didn't feel it was proper. And then on top of that, I didn't like how Don Lemon didn't go to bat for the young man properly, in my opinion. Like, I would just at least say, let's not do that, Funky. Let's not do names, Because, Don, they called you a house Negro. So you should know how that feel. That's hurtful. Now, the little boy, he was, he apologized to him, He apologized to him. But I don't care, like, once the apology goes forth, the damage has already been done. But listen, let's go to the flip side of this. Daniel do be on there like he's speaking, as a representative of white folks sometimes. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. He do be giving like, I'm white, and and I need to represent the white folks. I thought it was a bit harsh. Daniel handled it well and remained. Yeah, you have to, because you don't want to like lose it. A lot of people love what Funky did, y'all. I just feel like, come on, y'all. We gotta do like that. I mean, and then Funky, another thing is you're on another platform. You're on Don's platform. I don't know if that was Funky's first time. Good, this is how you show up the first time on a platform, Funky? Funky. I think that was Funky's first time, or I'm not sure. There's a lot of people I could that love to like, yeah, it was long overdue. Good. I'm like, damn, y'all. They don't like that little boy. I say he looked like Dennis the Menace. He do look like Dennis the Menace to me. I don't care what nobody's saying. But a lot of y'all was like, yeah, I'm glad somebody finally got him good. Like that lady that was over there in the comments about who finally somebody. I'm like, wow, man. Funky has been on there. Oh, okay, he been on there before. I never seen Funky on there. Daniel values his proximity to whiteness for sure. That is Funky's second time on there. Okay, I never seen the first time. Daniel does cap for whiteness. I mean, Daniel, I can't stop these people. I was trying to stand in the doorway and block the people, but they knocked me down. They knocked me down to the ground and came on in there looking for you, They knocked me on the ground and told me to get out the way. I had to move out the way. They knocked me on the ground. So they said, you be doing too much explaining. You be doing too much white splaining. You know, you're doing too much. They say you be over there tap dancing sometimes. He does have his head in the sand. Okay, what am I going to, here's a question. What am I going to do with all this cash? Thank you so much, I McDonald, for you keep me laughing. I thank God for you. Oh, thank you. What am I going to do with all this cash? Do anybody want it? I'll just give it away. Anybody want this cash? What am I going to do with all this money? Tyesse, there's some people that have 100,000 subscribers and don't have the support you have. People with 27,000 subscribers, they don't have, you know, it's just, I know, I get it. Okay, what do you want me to do about it? Daniel's special, but Funky was too rough today. Yeah, you didn't have to do that. You have to do that shit, Funky. You know, that's what I feel like. It was just too much. I'm not mad at Funky. Oh, wow. Look at this. There's another person. I'm not mad at Funky. Enjoy yourself. Oh, thank you so much. Not that I disagree, but it kind of made me sad. The look on his face. Yeah. I'm an empath. Who is that? I'm an empath. Sis, oh my God. They say I better hush before I get another, my rent is due and my lights about to get cut off. They say I need to be quiet before I get another request in an email that I'm going to get put outside in 2 hours. Oh, let me hush. I didn't get nothing tonight. I didn't get nothing. Oh, my cash app is on 0. I guess I'll go in here and make me eat me some beans out the can. I ain't got a can opener though. Ooh. I guess I'll go in here and open up me a can of hash. Stephanie. I guess I'll go and open up me a can of beans and eat them cold out the can. Yeah, they say I better be quiet because, you know, once they start saying I'm having a good night, here we go with my lights off, my gas off. I'm going to get evicted. I got a 3-day notice. I don't have no food in the refrigerator. I haven't eaten in 8 days. Are you still living? I haven't eaten in 8 days. Girl, you still got energy? You can talk and go to work and stuff? Yeah. Who said that? That was Brianna London. I like that. Not that I disagree, but it kind of made me sad, the look on his face, and they wouldn't give him a chance to respond. It was too, yeah, that's all I'm saying. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You know, and then you got to go home and, oh, man. It ain't like Funky gonna go on his show and apologize. It ain't like, you know, it ain't like them people from Don Lemon will be over there watching Funky. You know? The way they snatched my video, I might send you my legal wait, my light bill. Oh my God. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't know what that is. I don't know why people, you know, I don't know why YouTube is so finicky like that. But that's why usually what I do is I try to make sure if there's anything like information on legal documents, I try to make sure that I redact it. I've slipped up a couple of times if there's any information, but sometimes it don't even be anything. You know, sometimes then they say we have to have a human look at it. Then a human looks at it and then they release your video. It's like that's happened to me several times. You know, like, is it the automated system that needs to be rehauled? You know, soon as they get a human eye on it, then they say, oh, we're sorry, your video's been restored. But then my video's been down for 3 days. I've lost a lot of revenue, you know. People be watching the video and then the video go black, you know. Yeah. I better stop talking about it. Y'all want me to stop talking about cash? Okay. Clifton, I saw that leg tapping. I knew it was over. I think Funky just don't know how to, you know, basically Funky don't know how to do it, y'all. He don't know how to bite his tongue. I'm kind of like that too. But I'm an empath, so I would not have done that to that little boy. Even though I do catch his tea. He is whitewashed. But I wouldn't have did him like that in front of them people. I couldn't have did it. I couldn't have slept at night. Yeah, I hope they put it back too, sis. They'll put it back. That happened to me. They put it back. Something similar happened. They put it back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, stop talking about cash before people get screaming and spitting their teeth out. Oh my God, please, honey. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Okay. Let's talk about this. I'm not playing any of the videos, y'all. I'm just gonna do commentary. I don't have the energy or the patience to go through video by video, but there is a new development tonight, and the Rhoda Young Leandria Johnson debacle, right? Okay. So we heard about there was a back and forth, and it was arguing and cussing, and you don't know me, and you don't know me either. And okay, well, what you want to do? And I promise you, it was like, oh my God, like it was bad. And so I'm hearing tonight, though, y'all, that there may have been some mix-ups on the other side, not Leandria's side. Maybe something was some bad communication. And so now Rhoda Young, it appears that she's over there on her channel, trying to be a little more calmer, a little more nicer in her approach. I was looking at the video earlier. I was like, okay, she's a little different today, right? And so Leandra is already under enough scrutiny as it is. And so people just look for anything. The bloggers, these bloggers are vicious and mean. They treat her horribly with their coverage. So Rhoda Young is a blogger out of Virginia, 757, and there was an event that's scheduled for Sunday, y'all. And so now Leandria, with all this, she said, "Now I'm not coming." So she's not coming. Okay. It was a night of hope, and Rhoda Young said she was selling tickets. Everybody was, helping promote, and promoters were promoting, and everybody was promoting. People were selling tickets, and they wanted to make sure she had a nice, welcome in Virginia. And something broke loose, honey. I don't know what kind of communication failure they had, but it was a lot. Thank you, Willie. It was just a lot. And then there was another story. There was a parallel story because Leandria was on the airplane with Dietrich Haddon, and her speech was slurred, right? And then that took on another storyline. So it was two storylines. Is Leandria drunk? And August 2nd gate, right? And so I hate all this for her, I hate all this for her, but I know one thing. I'm gonna say I don't blame her. I don't blame her. It's how you approach people when there's a problem. Sometimes people are double booked. Sometimes people are double booked. It may be a management issue. Sometimes there's scheduling conflicts that you're not even aware of, right? And people take it out on the artist, and it be the manager, or somebody that on the team that made the mistake, and it all falls on Leandria. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying those are things that happen, I'm truly praying for Leandria. I hope she can. I mean, alcoholism is a disease. Yeah. Sleepiness does it every time. Does what every time, Martha Weston? What does sleepiness do? I don't know what you're talking about. So let's just hope that everything works out. But I do not blame Leandria. When people are, talking crazy and reckless, I can't even come and get in this spirit now, y'all. Y'all, the way y'all talking and coming at me, I'm good. I can't really even talk. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, slurred speech. No, it wasn't sleepiness. No. It sounded like Leandria when she may have had a cocktail. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. It sounded a little slurish. It wasn't sleep related. No. I just don't know why Dietrich Haddon didn't like stop her. Like, I don't know. I know she's a grown woman, but I don't know why Dietrich Haddon didn't stop her, you know? We'll understand it better by and by. But I think August 2nd is going to be a whole chop, y'all. I think August 2nd is going to be a chop at this time. Okay. And move this over here. A night of hope is turned into a night of nope. I would love to get some feedback tonight. I'm going to drop the link. I would love to get some feedback on both of these stories. If you could come up and give me your opinion. I'm looking for people that matriculated through HBCUs. And even if it was a non-HBCU, even if it was a PWI, there's some things that you can probably add to the conversation. So if you graduated from college, or if you went to college, you may not have graduated, but I would love to get your feedback tonight on this conversation that we're going to be having. It is our lead story tonight. We're going to call this segment School Days because there is a lot going on. There is a lot to talk about tonight. And I really would love for a few of you guys to come up and weigh in on what's going on. I really would. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat, and then I'm going to pin it. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We have two universities here, y'all. We have Tuskegee University, and we have the legendary Howard University. Howard is, Howard has like a whole subgenre of prestige when it comes to Black academia, right? If you're a Howard alumni, we would love to have you come up as well. If you're a Howard alumni. Okay. Or a Tuskegee alumni. Okay, so let's pull this up. Let's get our notes together here. Let's get all this together. I'm going to actually start with Tuskegee. I'm going to start with Tuskegee. Okay, so Tuskegee has a new campus dress code. Tuskegee University is generating conversation after announcing new campus expectations for students' attire as a part of a broader effort to promote professionalism. Under the updated policy, students are expected to dress appropriately for academic and professional settings, with restrictions on revealing clothing, bonnets, do-rags, house shoes, pajamas, and other attire considered unsuitable for classrooms. Okay. Y'all gotta wait till y'all got to wait until I finish the topic. Y'all already hitting the link. Come back when I finish to give you the information. Come back. Y'all, I ain't finished reading the thing yet, y'all. Y'all come back. All right. Okay, so with restrictions on, or you can stay in the green room until I'm done, okay? On other attire considered unsuitable for classrooms and official university events. The university says the goal is to prepare students for a workplace and reinforce a culture of excellence, while critics argue the policy raises questions about personal expression and student autonomy, okay? All right, that is Tuskegee. If you can you please put the university that you graduated from? If you graduated from multiple universities, just put a comma and keep going. Okay. I need everybody in the chat to put the university or universities that you graduated from. If you graduated from multiple, just use the comma, baby. Use the comma. Let's go over to Howard. Okay, Howard University is facing national backlash after 502 incoming first-year students were disenrolled just weeks before the start of the fall semester. According to the university, the students failed to meet deadlines related to tuition payments, payment plans, scholarships, or financial aid documentation. Despite months of reminders, however, many students and families say that we were still waiting on financial aid and or scholarship funds and believe that they were unfairly removed from the incoming class. The controversy has sparked outrage online, and several colleges, including HBCUs and public universities, have stepped in to offer enrollment opportunities to the affected students. Okay, we do have breaking news right now, Tyesse Squad. Let me get this. We do have breaking news out of New York on this matter. Hold on one second. Governor Hochul, Sister Hochul, Governor Hochul, I like saying her name. Okay. New York is offering support to students whose undergraduate plans have been disrupted after Howard University disenrolled more than 500 admitted students ahead of the fall 2026 semester. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced that eligible students, including New York residents affected by the decision, announced that eligible students, including New York residents affected by the decision, can seek, okay, there we go, I saw the comma, okay, can seek expedited admission to participating State University of New York, SUNY, and City University of New York, CUNY campuses. New York is ready to support you and empower you. Students accepted through the initiative will also receive an $800 credit. All right, Governor Hochul, an $800 credit to help offset non-refundable enrollment deposits they previously paid to Howard University. This is coming across, this is giving me a low-key, we want to embarrass Howard. But how can you say that when it's helping Black students? Ooh, this is a tricky one. Oh my God, I don't know. Several SUNY campuses are expected to participate, including Albany, Binghamton, Buffalo, Stony Brook, Buffalo State, New Paltz, and Old Netta. Additional campuses are reviewing available capacity. I think we got another college over there. They're trying to do a head count and see how many people they can make room for. We got 500 people that we have to elucidate for the episcopacy. Oh, thank y'all so much. Now, if you want to hit the link is available, everybody. Let me say this. I saw a conversation about it was on Roland Martin. Okay, it was on Roland. Are people, going to colleges that are they looking at their financial situations with a good eye? I'm trying to be very respectful here, y'all. I don't want to use the can't afford lingo, but can you afford it? Yeah, I said, okay, can you afford it? Are you able to afford it? Because a lot of people, they want higher education. Sometimes people don't want to do community college. They don't want to do, the local college over across the bridge. I wish I could have gotten my graduate degrees from an HBCU. It's not too late. It's never too late. Now, all these people in the chat, all these universities, and not one person want to weigh in on Tuskegee or Howard University. When it comes to Tuskegee and the dress code, it reeks of respectability politics. It does to me, because there has to be a balance. We agree there has to be a balance. You cannot come to class looking like you just got up out of the bed. Wash your face, wash up a little bit. Press your clothes out. Okay, we got somebody. Here we go. Hey, Cassandra.
Hey, Ty, how are you?
I'm fine. Do you want to weigh in on Tuskegee?
I'm a both. HBCU, which is the Mecca, Howard University, of which I was freshman class president.
Okay.
1980. When was I there? 81, 82. For the College of Nursing. And then, of course, my other HBCU, which was Prairie View A&M University. And then I have a whole bunch of other universities. I've been to actually 8 universities in total. But I completely support the we're not talking about the do-rag bonnet situation, right? We're talking about the tuition situation.
You can talk about either one. They're both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I absolutely support the do-rag bonnet ban that Tuskegee is implementing, and I pray that all of the other HBCUs implement the same thing. When I was at Howard, we took pride in how we looked, how we dressed, how we presented ourselves. You know, we had pride as Black people. And when I say Howard was the Mecca, it is the Mecca, it is the Mecca. So this, I don't know what has happened to us as a race of people where we don't see anything wrong with going. There were just certain standards. I don't care what your income level was. I don't care if you was raised in the projects. I don't care where you were. That was a level of pride that we had as Black people back in the day. And to be so comfortable to come out of your house, you know, and you got pajamas on and you have now the do-rag situation, I mean, I don't see as much wrong with that, but these bonnets, it's just ridiculous. Like we used to compete with each other on who could outdress who. Like our wardrobe when we were in school, even when we were in high school, we were dressed like we were worth $1 million back in the day. And so I don't know what has happened to us. And the sad part about it, Thais, is that lax mindset and mentality is translating all across these young people, you know, and um it that is showing up in everything that they do. The lack of pride, all of these fights and all of this stuff, this anger that's out of control, you know, the all of that stuff that's happening in the classrooms, and it's all coming from the same spirit of not having pride. We grew up in a Black power era, you know, where you were proud to be Black. You had a deportment about yourself. You carried yourself in a certain way. Even if you were raunchy in your behavior, you still was dressed like you still look good. You still took when you think about Superfly, and I don't know if you maybe I don't know if you're old enough to remember Superfly and all of them. They used to be dressed.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what has happened to us as a people, but we need to get back and it started with that sagging generation that came out when I was graduating from high school in the early 80s, where they started sagging, and ever since then it just started going downhill. But you know, hopefully this will be a start to getting our pride back, because a lot of the ways that we're not respected as Black people is because of what they're seeing. They're not seeing the professionals online as much as they're seeing the raunchiness. And yes, and when you dress, even when I was at Texas, I didn't attend Texas Southern University. Of course, I'm Prairie View, and that's our rival. But when I was over there for various things, they in their school of business, they literally had a mannequin that was standing up there that had dressed like a business suit on, and that was the standard by which they were expected to come to school, you know, to come to class. You know, they were working on MBAs and things of that nature. So I'm all for it. Now, for the ban on all this ghetto-ness and lack of deportment when you come to class. Now, transitioning over to Howard and this tuition thing. So let me say, we was going through all kind of craziness. in administration when I was at Howard. My family was very wealthy, so of course they just wrote a check for my tuition, so I didn't have to go through scholarships and student loans and things of that nature. Thank God, and that's just a blessing because it's not an arrogance. But when you are Black in a country that is dead set against your success and everything that they can do to keep you from succeeding is your reality more and more and more, the last thing you should be doing as a HBCU is trying to keep people from receiving their education. There should be, I didn't get my scholarship for Harvard for a program that I wanted to do this summer, which I did last year, and I got my scholarship because the Trump administration withheld $700 million in scholarship money from Harvard. And so my program that I was supposed to do this summer at Harvard, I couldn't afford to pay cash because I had just paid all my tuition for my medical school program that I just finished 2 weeks ago. So I had to miss out on that particular program this summer. And that's at the premier PWI in the country and globally in the top 5, right? So you have the premier of one of the most notable HBCUs, and then you're gonna kick people out of school when they are already behind the 8 ball, and maybe they can't afford it. But if they can even get some Howard University education, even if they can get through their sophomore year, that experience at Howard is unmatched. The pride that you're developing yourself, the camaraderie, the relationships that you will develop. Even, and I heard Roland Martin say, well, if you can't afford it, you don't need to go. I disagree. If you can afford 2 years of it and then transfer to something, it's still going to greatly benefit you based on what you get in that atmosphere. Like, it's nothing like that atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so it's egregious. It's time out for it. They did us like that, but they should be doing every single thing they can to make sure that these Black people have a leg up. Howard University has all kinds of uh funding and monies that they could have fronted those accounts with until these people's scholarships and financial aid monies came in, which is what I did at Prairie View. They put grant monies on my account until I paid my tuition bill. And then they took the grant monies off the account. You
Okay.
do whatever you want to do to get these people in this darn school. And so
Okay.
the great
Okay. So I'm gonna leave this open panel style so you can stay up, but I'm gonna bring Crystal in and then save your thought and you can complete it. If people do come in, we can just bounce off of each other until we finish. Crystal, I want to bring you in. Thank you for being patient.
Hey family. Hey,
You want to weigh in on
sis.
Tuskegee or Howard or both?
Tuskegee first, and we'll see where it goes. I honestly can't. I don't know why we have such an issue with a dress code.
Mm-hmm.
These young people have all the time, throughout the rest of the week when they are not in a classroom to dress however they want to dress.
Mm-hmm.
You have a dress code when you go to work. You have a dress code when you are when you want to be presentable, right?
Right.
We do, in my opinion, we do our young people a disservice when we accept any old thing and tell them it's okay, at least this, it's okay, at least that. And
Yeah.
look at the number of non-Black people who are saying, oh, well, just leave the babies alone. Would they miss Millie behinds? We should not want that for our young people. I remember managing a group of young people who were fresh to the workforce, and they legitimately did not understand how to dress for success and how you are addressed by the way that you're dressed. They didn't know it, and these were things that we learned at home. These were things that we learned in high school and in college, and it is apparent that young people today are not getting a lot of these lessons. So where are they supposed to get them? If they don't get them where they are preparing to go into the real world, where are they going to get some of these lessons? And again, when you're not in the classroom, put on what you want to put on, but treat the classroom like it's your workplace and keep it moving. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but we make everything a big deal where kids are concerned because we don't want them to feel anything. We don't want them to feel slighted. We don't want them to feel passed over. We don't want them to feel anxiety. We got to stop putting 20 on a 10 and keep it moving. Now, as far as Howard, I'm torn because they may have done those young people a favor. They really may have done them a favor.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
They may not need that debt. There are many ways to skin a cat. And the reality of it is, in corporate America, unless you're getting a specialized degree from a place of prominence known for that degree, a piece of paper, it really is a piece of paper. I'm sorry if a lot of people don't know that, but what recruiters are looking for the majority of the population, again, not all of them, is a piece of paper. The fact that you started and you finished. So if you can do that for about $40,000 less a year, maybe you should look into it.
Mm.
You disagree?
I completely disagree.
Okay.
The
Why?
reason why is because there's no such thing as any earned degree from anywhere just being a piece of paper. That's first. Secondly, I'm in over $100,000 worth of student loan debt. I have probably had at least $250,000 worth of education. And there is nothing in me that would trade the education that I have based on student loan debt. I would rather have the debt that I have and have the opportunity that I have to move in the spaces that I move in and live the way that God has blessed me to live than to be trying to save $40,000 on the first about college, and especially when you at somewhere like Howard University, is more than getting a degree in the first place. The value that Howard gave me was not about the obtaining a degree. The value that Howard gave me was the experience of the environment of Howard University. So I completely agree. And the other thing is that your degree, where you graduated from, may matter in your first job, but after that, it's all about how you show up and your how you move, your what your how you show up in your space. What you I don't know anybody that graduated from any of the HBCUs that I'm familiar with that couldn't get a job because they graduated from Howard, TSU, Prairie View, Grambling. Anybody that I know that graduated from any of those places are doing amazing. So
And
I
sis, let me jump in here for just a second,
that
because I don't want to be misrepresented in what I'm saying. My point about them maybe doing those 500 young people a favor is it's I'm not speaking just about historically Black colleges and universities. I am speaking about universities in general. Okay. So if you can't afford to begin at Howard, go where you can afford to begin, even if that is a junior college. Get the 2-year degree. You may not have the same experience as someone beginning at a 4-year university, but you are getting some experience. You're also getting an associate's degree that when you go to do those next few years for your bachelor's, no one can take that degree away from you. You've started, you're going to finish somewhere else, and you're going to do it for less money. I hear what you're saying about not giving anything for what you have right next to the debt that you've also accumulated. That may not be everyone else's story. And we need to make sure all avenues are open, because some people, and many of us know them, and there may be some in the chat. There are people who are being crushed under tremendous amounts of debt because of their college education. That was really my point more than anything. And as a hiring manager, when I said it really doesn't matter, again, if I'm hiring engineers, I want to know that they went to a school that specializes in engineers. If I'm hiring people who are doing more generalized work, I want to know that they have a 4-year degree. And it doesn't matter to me as much where they attended school. Those were my points. Totally get you are happy. You wouldn't give anything for what you did, but that's not necessarily everyone else's.
Well,
Okay. Hold on one second. Cassandra, I'm gonna bring Alicia in, and then we're gonna bring Crystal in, and then you can finish up your thought with Crystal. All right, go ahead, Alicia.
Hey there, Ty and Ty Squad. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm in agreement with Crystal in the sense that unless you are getting a degree in a specialized field, I don't care where you get that degree. I just think right now we used to look down on people that went to trade school, but the people that got a trade, I bet you want to know one thing, AI ain't gonna take over their job. Because what they do, AI can never do, because you need a human to do it. And also, I don't have a lot of experience with Howard or Tuskegee, but I do know that when you go to a junior college and you transfer those credits to the college that you really want to go to, you save a lot of money. You save a lot of money and you still get to go where you want to go. And that makes more sense when you really can't afford it to do it that way, because you still get the degree. Now, when my husband was a police officer at Spelman, I was so excited to hear the word Spelman and Morehouse. When I went to that college and I saw how the girls was dressed, a lot of them, I know their mamas didn't know they looked like that. And I said to myself, why? And I'm not trying to compare, but I just couldn't help but to notice, because I went to white colleges or predominantly white splashed with black, those type of universities, or half and half. And we never dressed like that. So I was very disappointed in how our girls were dressed. Spelman and Morehouse, those are prestigious colleges. Their mamas and daddies are paying a lot of money. I believe when you go to school, to be honest with you, when you on campus, I think you should be dressed appropriately. You represent the school. Just like when you have a job, depending on the position that you have, when you're off work, when you're out of the company's parking lot, what you do and how you dress still matters because it represents the company that you work for. So just because you are out of school, out of work, you can just dress and look like how you want. That's not always the case because depending on what you do, you represent that company, you represent that school. So I'm in agreement. You should look professional. You should look the part. It's no reason for us to be out there looking like, come on, there's a standard. And if you don't make these children have a standard, if you don't show them that there's a standard, they will not know. They only do what you allow them to do. If you don't allow it, they can't do it.
All right, Alicia, you can stick around if you want to. Okay, so before I go to Crystal Williams, I just got the news recently that one of my favorite restaurants, Crystal, is they have a dress code now. I love casual. I like to wear shorts. I like to wear athletic wear in this weather. And so they're now at Ruth Chris's, they're now, you can't wear any of that stuff. You can't wear sandals, beach flappers, none of that. And so I'm noticing now a lot of people are really getting serious about dress codes. And a lot of it's aimed at Black people. And so it's kind of like Tuskegee is kind of like following suit. But go ahead, Crystal. Go ahead.
And you know what? I appreciate if Ruth's Chris is doing that here in Tulsa because they're inside the Hard Rock Casino here. Okay. And the only thing out there is cowboy hats, shorts, halters, tennis shoes. They look like they just got off the couch to come in and eat. And I appreciate that. And if I have to look at that, then I'll stay at home. But back to everything. I went to Southern University in Baton Rouge. Okay, so I graduated high school in '82. My first job was at the age of 14 through a city program for the Black, given by the Tulsa Urban League here in Tulsa called Tri-CETA, right? So my first job was in an office. So my mother taught me, this is how you present yourself. This is how you talk. This is how you dress, blah, blah, blah. That's my generation. I was born in the civil rights era in 1964. That's my generation. Then you come up, then you have, then 20 years later, you got 82, 92, 2002. Listen, each generation is going to have their own culture, their own brand. However, the foundation does not change. But if the foundation is not being taught, because unfortunately we have babies having babies, having babies, having babies, and it's a lot to it. It's really not as cut and dry as some of us are saying. And so, yes, I went on I didn't go on scholarships, but I went. My mother paid for it, and blah 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 blah, and all of that. And I didn't have any debt when I got out. My son, that graduated from OSU in 2019. He does have debt. He now says, I wish I would have listened to you guys and either majored in something different instead of my passion, which that generation in 97 is all about dreams and passion and pursuing and all of that, right? It's generational. He wishes he would have gotten something different. He is working and scuffling to pay his debts and work and just live. It's the times we're in. I agree with Crystal Marshall. I would push my grandchildren to go to a trade, get a trade as much as you can, go up under somebody as an apprentice or start your own business. Because for the Black community, that's where it's headed in America. So it's just so many other things to contend with. So to where it's just not as cut and dry. Personally, I've been a paralegal for over 25 years. I'm now in oil and gas corporate law. I agree with Crystal Marshall on the fact that they are looking for specialized degrees, period. Those are the interns they're bringing into these companies. They're looking for engineers, oil and gas. They're looking for accountant. They're looking for IT. Those are the big things now. And so It's all in whatever you want to do, but I appreciate us being able to have the broad conversation that everybody representing where they came from, and
Mhm.
we can make it all relevant. You know what I mean, to where we are today.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Cassandra, you want to double
Yeah.
back around?
So first of all, I want to be clear. I didn't say anything about not finishing. I said if they want to start at Howard and transfer like so many people did and get their degree from other places later on, that's up to them. They want to be at Howard for a reason. And yes, my first degree, my parents paid for. I paid for all of my other degrees. All of my Cornell, that was paid for in cash. Harvard was paid for in cash. My other uh uh degrees and stuff was paid for with student loan debt. But whatever I needed to do to get to be where I am and do what I need to do, I'm not ever gonna let money stop me from doing that. But that's just me. I'm not saying people shouldn't finish or they need to finish from Howard. I said if they even wanted to do 2 years at Howard and transfer to a state school or transfer to wherever they want to transfer to, all of that's fine. But everybody had their own dreams, and then Howard University's education in every area is top notch. So from their medical school, their law school, their engineering programs, their business programs, definitely their nursing programs, all of it is top notch. So I'm not following that conversation as if a Howard University engineering degree is substandard. Howard has
Oh no, nobody said
it,
that.
I
No
don't
one
think she
said
said.
oh,
that,
okay, but
Cassandra.
maybe
No one
I
said that.
misunderstood that
Yeah,
because I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
it's not,
No,
yes, some people want degrees, and some people want them from certain universities, and some people are willing to go into whatever financial challenges they may need to go into to get their education. And so debt is everywhere. Everything you do is going to carry some level of debt. You sit up and you take out a 30-year mortgage on a $500,000 plus home, and you do what you need to do to pay for it. If I have to pay a $45,000 master's or $65,000 doctorate or whatever I need to do, that's just what I'm going to do, just like I'm going to do everything else. People buy cars and pay more than they pay for Howard University tuition.
Okay,
So all of
but
this,
Cassandra, can I
it
offer
don't
this?
make sense.
Can I offer this, Cassandra? You know, you're saying that as a woman that is of a certain age, no disrespect meant. But when we're dealing with young people that have their whole lives ahead of them, we have to get really serious when we talk about debt because there is so much debt out there: college debt, student loan debt. People are not being able to start their lives properly because of debt. Like they get into debt and then you get out of college and then you start your life and the way your life may could have, worked out for you financially is not working out that way because you're now paying out a lot of money and you're not even able to use the money from the income that you got with the degree to do anything with it outside of paying off this staggering debt. There are people that are paying off debt 10 and 20 years. And it's
Hmm.
like,
But you do everything else with debt. So they'll go out and but I know young people that have dualies and vehicles that are 85,000, $100,000 trucks, 70, $80,000 BMWs, and you can't pay a $60,000 tuition bill. It's not, I don't know anybody. Well, and I'm a therapist. I have clients from every single age group from and the vast majority of my clients are young people going to med school and attorneys and physicians and all kind of professional people. They're not doing what they need to do because they have student loan debt. They just like they go into debt to do everything else that they want to do, then you do what you need to do to get credentials behind your name that give you an advantage. And again, like I said, going to Howard University is not just about obtaining a degree. It carries a proper college education gives you way more than that. It gives you a culture. It gives you pride in who you are. It educates you in what it means to be a professional Black person, where you're not marginalized, where you can come through that program and know who you are. So when you get in a corporate space like I have been, when you're the only Black person, you understand how to navigate in that environment without making a lot of crucial mistakes. So when you're looking at your education, it's not just about getting a document that will allow you to work. It's giving you an entire ecosystem that you will learn from. I was at Howard over 40 years ago, and I still reflect on what I was taught in that first degree. I mean, that first educational experience. So it's not just about getting a degree. It's way more to it than that. And they go into debt for everything else that they want to do. So if you need to have some debt so that you can have a leg up and be able to work in a particular space and make a living for yourself, I don't see nothing wrong with that. So what's the difference?
Okay.
They'll buy a Mercedes that costs more than Howard tuition is gonna cost them. And
And
this
we're
Okay.
not proponents of
depreciating
that
every
either.
year.
'Cause, sis, we're not proponents of that either. I think what I know what I'm saying is if you take the Howard University out of this conversation for just a
Yeah,
moment, my
yeah.
broader point was um they have made a pathway for these 500 students to do it another way, maybe. And many of them would be fools not to pursue doing it another way. In 2026, debt is all around us, but we have to be very strategic in what debt we
Mm-hmm.
pick up and what debt we do
Mm-hmm.
not pick up. No one is
Mm-hmm.
saying because you can buy a car or you choose to do other things to put yourself in debt, you shouldn't put yourself in debt for school. I am saying watch all the debt because debt is in many ways, someone put it in the chat. In many ways, debt can make you feel like a slave to the system. There are
Yeah.
people who are hurting themselves under the crushing weight of debt. These young people are leaving universities, starting jobs, and it is years before they can afford to pay back their loans, and start families, move out, get homes, and not live with their parents 10, 15 years after pursuing a 4-year degree. That's all we're saying. It is not a knock on Howard University per se. It is just, is there another way to do this?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna bring Lamar in. That's a very good point, Crystal. Lamar, come on in.
Oh, hey everybody, hope all is well. To the panel and to the entire Thai squad. Some really like interesting points, and it's one of those conversations, Ty. It's kind of hard to, how do you what side do you what side do you completely like stand on? Because
Mm-hmm.
I understand on Krista Marshall's side that like we should be observant of all the debt, and be aware about basically what I'm getting from her is be careful what you get yourself into, and um handle your finances correctly. Um, Also kind of like knowing your bandwidth, because there's so many things in what she's saying there. It's just astronomical. And then what Miss Cassandra is also saying, it's like when she was speaking, I'm like, okay, that makes sense too, with the, because I have some friends who have some pretty expensive vehicles or as I say, expensive wants that they're still, paying off, but are still and in higher education and are pursuing to go further. And it's like it's I don't know. I and then in this time with the current administration and what they're doing, with making it harder for people to potentially take out loans, or it's more foolery with what this administration is doing in terms of education. I guess it could go back to what Aunt Crystal's, Marsha was saying about just being very aware about kind of like, and I hate to say it, like we parents and whoever legal guardians, whoever really, especially in today's world, really grave into your children. If you're gonna do college, let's try to have a game plan. What are you going to do? So that way you're not wasting money and you're just kind of in, you're in school. Because there have been people who have been who have changed their major so many times. And then that, depending on if they change their major, that could be more debt. It could just be a real problem. And then Miss Krista Williams said about trade school, and I agree with that as well. About having some skills that you can have right off the bat. A year or two program, and you have something that is tangible and that is yours forever. And regardless of whether you go to college or not, I can tap into this, and this can be a lucrative career depending on what it is. But another thing that I was going to say, that it's really heavy on my heart, because this is predominantly a Black audience, right? It's so important, you guys, that we are encouraging our young people, and I know that all of you are going to agree with me on this, to when it comes to Black people, we have to start playing that game, kind of like everybody else. And let me explain that. So a lot of our Indian brothers and sisters, our Asian brothers and sisters, they're very, very like, I am going to school to be a doctor. I am going to school to be a lawyer. I'm going to school to go into politics, right? Those are like those really power hungry occupations that have real, um, that impact change, nursing, things like that. I kind of get tired of like our people going into like things that I think just like are not relevant to me like at all, like, oh, music, or I'm going to go into dance, or I'm going to go into psychology. I'm just going to stop at a bachelor's. I just kind of feel that, because I'm so tired of going, having a doctor's appointment, and the majority of the clinic is non-melanated people. Well, I think that Black people, we're just as talented as everybody else, but if we want real change, we have to go for those high-powered occupations. We have to. You need to be telling our kids, no, I'm not gonna tolerate having just a weak major, like, and I want people to be offended if you have a major that doesn't correlate with what I'm saying, but like in other ethnicities, like Indian, Asian, and even our brothers and sisters from the motherland, African, they're going after these real high-powered occupations. I'm not saying that people here in America that we're not. I think you guys know what I'm saying, but I really want like the narrative in like Black households when it comes to our children. We need to seriously like be emphasizing that this is what we almost, I'm not saying controlling what our kids do, but in essence, yes, if we want to see real change. Because if I had kids, I wouldn't accept anything outside of either law, engineering, medicine, science. There are certain things that I would be looking for my kids to be doing, because in that's where the power is. In that's where the change is. Does everyone pretty much agree with me?
Yes, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
hold your thoughts, everybody. I'm gonna bring Reggie in. Is it Reggie Williams?
Yes, appreciate it, Ty. Hello to everyone on the panel. I guess I can speak to it from a different angle. because I'm 1 year out of college, fresh. And while I was in college, I was a resident assistant. Those went to school, you know, kind of what that is. And one thing that we looked for is how could we retain students, right? And so the students that did have financial aid issues, there was always a pool of money that they could give to keep those students, to keep that retention rate. But once they reached that retention rate, you know, then certain students who couldn't meet those financial burdens were unfortunately let go. But one thing I would say about what school you go to, it does matter because I went to a PWI. Um, those who went to Grambling, I went to Louisiana Tech, which is right up the road. And I would say this, like the better companies are going to go to those schools who have kept their accreditations, who are above board. And so that's kind of one thing that I would just stress, because like something my mentors told me when I graduated high school and was looking for a school, they told me to go where you can be helped, right? Nothing against HBCUs, but that's something they stressed to me because certain companies are only going to go to certain schools, right? And so I was able to go, and fortunately, like I had to come out of pocket a lot. I had to work while in school. I did whatever I had to do, right, to get the degree, right. And I was fortunate enough to work for a really big company. I don't want to say the name, but I kind of want to bring up a bigger topic within the African American community, and that is a lot of time the students that pursue higher education, the family support is just not there. It's like because I went to a PWI and I actually got to see how those families are behind those students. I mean, financially, whatever they need to make sure they're successful. And unfortunately,
Reggie, Reggie, is it possible I can just interrupt you for a minute?
Go ahead.
There are contributing factors as to why African Americans are not able to help their children. There are
Right.
systemic issues why. It's not because they don't want to. It's because
Mhm.
we just want to put that little disclaimer there. There are
Yeah.
reasons why.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm kind of talking about is the people, they can drop bans on, unnecessary stuff. But then when it comes to actually higher education, it's just not I don't know if it's just a desire or what,
Mhm.
but I guess from where I sat and I was able to see a lot of different things because I worked for a university while in school.
Okay.
It's just like like that community, like they really just get behind their children and really just push them. Not saying that no African Americans don't, or there's limiting factors. Some things are just the circumstances of life. But I guess they just have. I don't know. It's probably just a hunger, just for them to see their their children do better in life, right? Where where a lot of us sit, if you make it out, then everybody's coming to you for help, right? But where were you when I needed help? Exactly, like while I was in school. So
Okay. And
And I understand that.
I do too, Chris. So you went to Grambling?
no, I went to Louisiana Tech, which is a few
Okay,
miles from Grambling.
got you, Louisiana Tech. Okay. And what is your degree in?
I did engineering with construction and land surveying.
Oh wow. Okay.
Very
Well,
cool.
you made some very good points, brother. You feel free to stay up, or you can drop down if your commentary is complete. Taking it back to Cassandra in Degree Gate. Um,
Yeah, I want to address a comment that you had put up on the screen. Somebody said 40 years and your parents paid for your first 2 degrees and you in student loan debt. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to understand what that means. First of all, I have never stopped going to school since I graduated undergrad. That's first. So from when I started at Howard, I've never stopped going to school. So I have paid some of my education in student loan debt, and I have paid cash for some of my education. So I don't know what he meant by that. Okay,
Okay.
I don't have no problems with my student loan debt because I will never let money stop me from doing what I need to do to be able to do what I am doing to build my mental health uh and wellness practice, global practice that I'm actually building. So I don't know what he meant by that, like as if that's some kind of dig. I have
I
over
didn't
quarter
see
of
it.
$1 million worth of education easily. So if I owe 100,000, so what? That's 2 degrees worth of student loan debt that I'm paying off with that. And that's my business. I don't have a problem with it. So I don't know whatever that comment was supposed to mean. I don't have a problem with student loan debt. If I drive $100,000 Benz that's paid off. I live in a condo that's very expensive. So if I choose to finance portions of my education or pay cash for it, that's what I choose to do. So I don't know what that comment was
I didn't.
supposed to
I
mean.
didn't.
That comment that you put up about 40 years ago and her parents, whatever they paid and whatever I paid.
Well,
It's
I didn't
still
see it. Did I
that
highlight it?
you put up saying somebody talking about 40 years and her parents paid her. First of all, my parents didn't pay my first 2 degrees. My parents paid my first degree. Every degree or certification or education that I have achieved after that, I paid for it. Whether it was in cash or whether it was in loans. I have
Oh,
8 universities under my belt.
That's
So
great.
it ain't no deal
Hmm.
talking about I'm in student loan debt. And so what?
okay.
Right.
Well, you know,
Right.
Cassandra.
Okay then.
All right. Well, all right then. Since
Well,
you know,
can I say something?
we're
Hey,
gonna bring we're gonna bring
Oh,
because
we're gonna
I have
bring Latanya in, and then we'll bring it back around. Go ahead, Latanya.
Hi, how y'all doing tonight?
Fine.
All right.
Great. So I was listening to the conversation. I went to school right down the street from Louisiana Tech. I went to ULM in
Okay.
Monroe, Louisiana. So my major was pharmacy. My dream school was Xavier University, which was it
Hmm.
is a HBCU, but it's a private
Hmm.
school. And at the time, I started school in 1995. At the time, it was like over $10,000 a semester. I knew my parents would have tried their best to pay for school. Well, if I would have went up the street to Monroe, tuition was like maybe $2,000 a semester. So back to what Krista was saying, I know she's not meaning a piece of paper, but the degree. I got the
Hmm.
same degree as my colleagues who maybe came out of school owing over $100,000, where I didn't owe that much money in student aid because my tuition was much cheaper. But I'm still coming out of school making the same money that those who went to Xavier made. Yes, that was my dream school. I did get to go there for like I went there for like a seminar to learn like the law of Louisiana, and that was my first time seeing blacks in control, and that did feel good. But I much rather having the degree that I have without the debt than having like over $100,000 in debt. And another thing, I understand what Cassandra is saying as well, as far as if you have goals, you don't let things get in the way of your goals. But in today's economy, you have to think differently.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get like these kids can get a job at Target making $15 an hour. Maybe Target wasn't the right thing to say right now, but
We know what you. Yeah, we know what you. Yeah.
yes, like you can make $15 an hour at a regular retail job. So
Hmm.
why go to school where you're gonna come out owing $200,000 and you're still gonna make like $20 an hour? So you
uh,
do have to consider like what are you majoring in? What's the cost benefit? You have to think about that with any
Hmm.
decision that you make for any
Yeah.
school, you
Yeah.
know.
Go ahead,
That's
Lamar.
all.
and that's why I
And I'll
was
drop back down. I'm sorry.
All right.
And
Thank you,
that
Latanya.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Lamar, and then we're gonna go to Crystal Williams.
okay. And that's all I was. I agree with Miss Latanya. I think that's what her name was, Latanya.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to be, very strategic about like, what you're going to school for. Um, so that you're just impactful if you're going to if you're going to be annoyed with paying back student loans, right? You want to have a challenging degree, and that is in a challenging high powered occupation, or an occupation that where there's a lot of possibility to influence change, both industrial wise, government wise, and just for um empowerment for your people, that hey, like since we this is a black platform, that I did it, and so could you. I just wish, I just want, I think Aunt Krista Marshall, she was going to comment on what I was saying, but then I think there were some other things that were going on, that, for example, here at the University of Rochester, I don't know about where you're at, Thais, but at U of R, the endocrinology department is predominantly all white. And we know that one of the most, prevalent diseases in our community is diabetes. It just behooves me that, like, I'm just like, how it doesn't make any sense, like how you have, like, a whole, all white, faculty, and there's like no black people. So I'm bringing it back, to full circle. It's so imperative that we are telling our children that there are certain programs and degrees that we should really be gunning for, like the Indians, like the Asians, like the Africans, like, you know and some of these other degrees are just not it. I'm sorry, they are not. And I think Cassandra will probably agree with me. Some of these other degrees that are, oh, okay, yes, you could major in business and marketing. Yes, there is promise there, but unless you have a high position, or you started a business and it is very successful, that's hard. It's, it's just, do you guys know what I'm trying to say? It's easier to make the power and the change that you want going into politics, going into law, going into medicine, going into engineering, right? Because you're going into pharmacy, like Miss Latanya, because you're at the table, with these other people making decisions that impact the masses. And I just think that the mindset of our people, when it comes, and I think it's also very social media influenced. There's a lot of factors that, like, just kind of like really annoy the crap out of me, because I'm just like, it's hard for me to kind of like get excited when somebody who looks like me is like majoring in something that's like, I'm like, what the hell are you gonna do with that? Because I see the bigger picture, because I'm like, we need real change, we need like real power. So that's how I see it.
But also, Lamar, and then we're about to do closing remarks. But also, Lamar, we have to also take into account that people go into fields where they feel that they're best suited as well. Like, some people know their strong suits and they know their weak spots. And so you don't want people to go into fields because it may be, something that puts starch in our backs collectively. If we see a lot of people, taking that particular route, but they wind up not being successful because there may be something that they're not able to complete. So I do see your point, but I also know sometimes people know, well, I don't think that's my lane. I've been not going that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop us from, we should, like you say, we should be ascribing to all of those top tier things that you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're good as everybody else.
Yeah, we're gonna start with Crystal Williams' final statements. We're gonna do the Crystals, Cassandra, and then Reggie. If you have anything, you can close out too. So, Crystal Williams, your final thoughts on Tuskegee and Howard Gate.
Overall, thank you. This has been wonderful. Lamar, I agree with you. I agree. Actually, I agree with some of what everybody said.
Yeah.
And I think it's all relevant. And I think it's important. And also, we just have to always keep in mind that it's so easy to look at where we are right now, no matter how we got here. It's just easy to say, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. We just have to really keep in mind that everybody don't see doctors, lawyers, 5 degrees, all the colleges, they don't see that. A lot of babies don't have any hope.
That's
And we
right.
cannot forget about how important it is to keep teaching them who they are, because the very best thing we can teach our babies is who they are and who they are not, what world they live in, what they're up against, how to live in the world that we are set in. And it's very, and who they are, and teaching them who God is in them. That's my closing remarks. I've enjoyed it. I love everybody.
Thank you, Crystal. That was a whole word. That will preach. All right, thank you, Crystal. Okay, Crystal Marshall.
Crystal Marshall reporting for duty. Listen, Marmar, I heard everything you were saying. And I want us to sit some apples next to some apples and some oranges next to some oranges. And what do I mean by that? We have to remember this pink elephant in the middle of the room called racism. It's institutional. You know, many students who come into the United States from other countries have the ability to get postgraduate degrees because they are, being sponsored by their country, or our country is mysteriously finding money that they can't find for a lot
Good
of
point.
Black children to, get, postgraduate degrees in. What we also have to remember is when we look at non-melanated people, many of them are college graduates. They are fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth generation college graduates. And you know what? Many of them have the ability to give their children a college education. I sit next to men and women who never understood what student loan debt was because their parents paid for them to go to school. Many of their parents are able to put money to the side for them to put down payments down on homes. Now, what is becoming real for the non-melanated population and why things are getting so crazy out on these streets is a divide is growing between them now of the have and the have-nots. Always remember, never forget. When they are talking things about the economy, when they are talking about have and have nots, those conversations don't have anything to do with us. Those are about the non-melanated people and the wedges that are growing between them. So fewer and fewer of them are being able to do that, but a nice chunk of them are. So they have the luxury of pursuing those degrees. Many of our children, conversely, right? Some of us are still first generation, maybe second generation graduates, but a good number, their families don't know how to help them be strategic about what to study. And we think it's lofty. We think it's a great thing to allow young people to go to school and decide while they're there what their major should be, not taking into account that time is money and you don't have either. Um,
Right.
that's really what I wanted to say. So I just, I'm going back to the broader point that I made earlier. I was attempting to make earlier. The best thing we can do for our young people is to help them be as strategic as possible when they're
Yes.
choosing schools, when they're choosing majors, when they're choosing whether or not to do postgraduate work. Dr. Hudson put something in the comments earlier that was talking about the return on investment. That's where many of us sit. And with that, I will drop down. I love y'all so much. Great
And
conversation tonight.
before you go, Crystal, to your point, there are some students that are going to take. There are some students that are going to take Governor Hochul up on her offer, and they're going to be grateful that they did. So I understood what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you,
I think they
sis.
should look at it as a gift. See y'all
Mhm.
later.
All
Okay,
right.
thanks, Ty.
All right. Thank you, Lamar. Okay, so Cassandra, we got some people still lined up. So go ahead and make your remarks, but keep them kind of brief.
Oh, I mean, my remarks pretty much have been made. It's not even
Oh,
about that. I just think that everybody's journey is theirs. I don't
that's
think that
true. Yeah.
Howard is doing anybody. I mean, a lot of them have been reinstated. That the reason why they were disenrolled in the first place wasn't necessarily that they couldn't afford the tuition. It was their financial aid monies and their tuition monies had not posted by July the 10th. There were people there that came to pay the deficits and they would not take their money. So that's why I disagreed that Howard was doing them some favor. I get the logic behind what she was saying to a degree, but at the same time, everything can't be. We've always been in debt. When I was at Howard, people were in a tremendous amount of debt. They were prostituting. They were doing everything they could to pay their tuition, dancing on the pole, doing whatever to make it better for them in the long run. At the end of the day, what Lamar said was absolutely on point. Change comes when you are in the boardrooms, when you are there where changes are being made. And so you have to decide if you are a trade school type individual that like to work with your hands, or if you're an intellectual that want to work with your mind. And just like you have nurse practitioners and nurse anesthetists that's making two, three, $400,000 a year, that student loan debt that they accumulate to be able to make that type of money and the type of money that my mental health practice is generating, so that I literally am building out a multi-million-dollar mental health and wellness center that my Harvard business coach has helped me to conceptualize and put into place. And to Lamar's point, my cohort at Harvard, in three cohorts, I was the only Black person. I was the only American born person. Everybody else was from countries outside the United States. And the reason why, though, is because it was biopharmaceutical medicine, leadership, research dealing with medicine development, clinical trials, medical technology, and things of that nature. But where are the Black people? And
Mm.
you do have Black people that are educationally and intellectually gifted enough to have been in those programs. So yes, we do need to be strategic in how we guide our students. I love precepting, I love guiding young people into, their educational journeys and pursuits. But if you let money stop you from doing something major in your life, money will always stop you. That because you're always going to have something to pay. I have paid off tremendous debt and still was in what I call good debt because it continues to move me forward in what I'm trying to do. So degrees are never pieces of paper. I don't care what schools they come from. Wherever it comes from, you make your own life at the end of the day. All you need is one open door. That's all you need. And that one open door leads you then to building a career, because then you show up in ways that moving forward after that first job is no longer as much about whatever school you graduated from. It's about your experience, what you bring to the table. And so I get it, but still, if I feel people should go where they want, you should never be afraid of debt that's going to position you in a better place, in a better position to sit at tables that you would not be invited to otherwise. And if you community college, done community college education too to save money, but
Okay.
none of it works at the end of the
Yes.
day. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cassandra. We appreciate your point of view. Thank you. All right. Crystal Reed, please hold on. Says Reggie Williams, you want to close it out with a comment? Reggie, are you there? Okay, I think Reggie may be gone. Reggie, are you there?
I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you.
Go ahead. Keep going. Go. Go ahead.
Okay, go out. Okay.
No, I was telling him to go ahead and talk, but he can't hear me. Okay. Okay, let me see. Crystal Marie, can I just say thank you for your patience? Thank you for your patience.
Of course. Can you hear me, Ty?
I can.
Okay. I promise I'm going to be real quick. This was such a yummy conversation.
You're not gonna be quick. No, not when people up here giving TED Talks. No, go ahead, take your time.
No. Yeah, really quick though. I'm just bringing different perspectives to just certain things that individuals said. I agree with everybody. Everybody had amazing points. I think it was Lamar. I agree about really pursuing a degree that in other people's eyes would make a difference. But as Black people, I can say sometimes the goal was just to go to college, right? A lot of Black people didn't have the luxury to say, oh, I want to do this, I want to go into that. I'm smart enough to do this, to do that, whatever. A lot of us were worried about, okay, after I get this degree, I'm gonna have grandma, grandpa, mama, Susan, Auntie Ray Ray on my back. I have to carry them, where as the others, that say, Becky, she was able to get the degree and also get her Mrs. degree, if that makes sense. Some of the women in the chat will know what I'm talking about. So while I was in the law library or in the biology department studying, she was majoring in communications, but hanging out in the law department because her husband was there. So a lot of it is, it's layers. There's a lot of layers to that. In 2026, I think trades right now is the way to go. Yeah. I have a biology degree as well as a nutrition and food science degree. Now, how I got my dollar in the dream was starting my own business. Okay, I'm a millennium. They said, go to school. When you graduate, you find a good job, you're going to make this money. I graduated when Bush was in office. Half of us couldn't find a job. Everybody told us to go back to school, to get masters, to do whatever, because you weren't going to find a job. I think me making the type of money I wanted to make, I started my own business, right? Do I regret college? Hell no. Like, that was some of the best years of my life. That's how I grew up. I went away. I went to a HBCU. It was a whole thing. So I am thankful for my experience, but I think in 2026, me just talking to my younger nephew, that trade is the way to go. No pun intended, Ty. I know your type of trade, but I'm talking about other trade. Both trades are great, I'll say.
Yeah.
But and I think we need to understand these are different. These are different kids. Like, this is a different. I thought millennials, like, we were doing something. These are a different type of kids. So I remember listening, and it broke my friend, but I had to say he made a good point. He said, Mom, you went to college, you do this, you did that, you did everything. He said, but you're struggling. He said, I want to be an influencer. I'm watching such and such on TV. They're making $1 billion by streaming. And that broke her. But did he have a point? Yes. So we're going back on, we're talking about, hey, get this degree, get that. That's how you're going to make money. And he told his mom, you're struggling and you got 2 degrees. You have a PhD and you can't find the type of money that you want to make. That's heartbreaking in 2026 when people with PhDs can't find a job to pay off their $200,000 or whatever in debt. They can't find it, or they're finding a job getting underpaid. Yeah. So it's a lot of like hidden layers that we're really not kind of tapping into. I agree with the bonnets or whatever, not really my thing, but a part of me is side-eyeing because it's like, if you're going to police that, what else are you going to police? So you already policing the womb. You already so it's like the bonnets, then it's going to be, the do-rags, then it's going to be, it's not going to stop. I think it's going to transcend into other things. Now, this is coming from somebody who is always themed over dress. I love a good dress attire. Okay. I love a good heel. I love a good button down. I love a good shawl. I love it. I love fashion. So I'm always going to show up overdressed. That's just what I do. However, the kids are different. It's different. Like they're growing up in social media. The millennials, I know a difference between not having a phone and having a phone. I remember dial-up internet, and now we can just go to our phone. So it's different, but picture your first toy was a tablet. Like that's all So these kids are the mindset is different. What they're looking at, the people that they admire got on flip-flops, slippers, a do-rag, and a pacifier in their mouth at age 30. That's what they see. That's what they see. So a lot of it is, it's a lot of layers. It's just, it's crazy. But I think everybody's point is made. I think everybody is correct. And I think it's no wrong or right way to do life in 2026. You have to do what works for you. That's either going to college, getting a trade, being a trade, whatever it is you got to do to survive 2026. At this point, my degrees were my backup because I knew I wanted to start my own business. I knew I wanted to be the one telling myself what to do. But it was a backup. I still had a backup when the business was like suffering. Okay, I could go back and get a job. I had those degrees. So again, soft landings or hard landings, but I had to figure that out. My parents' generation didn't understand, like, okay, wait, you quit your job to do what? They supported it, but did they understand it totally? No. But at the end of it, they saw what I was doing. I wasn't asking them for money. They saw the benefits and said, oh, okay. So that was the start of a new era for me and my family. Yeah, she went to school, but she's not talking about her quote unquote pieces of paper. She's talking about her own business that she started. So it's so many layers of just nuance for Black people. But the thing is, don't take away our options. Yeah. And when you start policing what I can wear, what I can do, what I can be, what music I can listen to, that's where so again, I don't do bonnets, but is it going to be start to something bigger where you tell me I can't do something else and then it just snowballs? Because in a minute, I'm going to be looking like, okay, well, just put up the signs, white only and Black over here. Just put up the signs. So in 2026, with my pieces of paper, certifications, I think certifications and trades are the way to go. If you know how to work with your hands and build something, you will always eat. You will always eat because you can build your house. And a lot of these are lost skills. Plumbing. My plumber came out, he was 85 years old. He said, I can't find anybody. So again, getting a trade, you coming out making making so much money because you're going to be a unicorn of some sort, because a lot of those skills, masonry, stuff like that is lost. So I just want to bring a few perspectives. So I hope I made sense.
Yes,
Thank
you
you,
did.
Eve.
Thank you. All right. Love you, Crystal.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Reggie, can you hear me now?
No, when she dropped, it happened again. I'm gonna keep going. I know you're tired. I'm gonna keep it short, but I would like to agree with something Cassandra said, because I can just tell she probably had a very good support system, people that really just supported her and kept her encouraged, right? And basically what she was saying, never sell yourself short, always reach for greater, right? And I can agree with her on that, because I really didn't have that support system, but I had, like, from my family, but I had also mentors, because I was going to just do trade school, get out 2 years and go to work. But they told me, you have more in you, you can do more. And so I totally agree with what she's saying, reach for the stars, don't sell yourself short, right? And I'll say to anybody on here, if you think about going to college, make sure you're going for something that there's a demand for, and make sure that the school you're going to has that appropriate accreditation, right? Because you need that accreditation to get you in the door. But beyond that, you're gonna go wherever you go based off your interpersonal skills. And that's something else that Cassandra was saying, right? You get more than a degree at these universities. And so that's a point I would like to make. But I have to agree with Crystal also. There comes a point where your degree is really just a piece of paper, right? It's going to be basically your skill set, your hunger, your drive, your level of quality work that you produce, that really will just keep you going through the doors. It may get you through a door, but those interpersonal skills that you build will keep you there. And so appreciate the conversation, Ty.
Thank you. What
I'll
part of
drop
Louisiana?
down.
I can't even ask what part of Louisiana he's in. All right. All right. Thank you, brother. Okay, I just wanted to clear the panel, y'all. If you have not got a chance to say anything, I just want to clear the panel. I just want to clear it. No shade. I want to clear the panel. All right. If you have not got a chance to say anything, you can still hit the link. We're still maintaining well over 300 people. All right. Close that out. If you did not get a chance to hit the link, and if you didn't get a chance to speak tonight, feel free to do it. If not, I'm about to work my closing. Okay. I'm waiting 10 seconds. The link is there. Okay. 10. Then there's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. B says she's coming. All right. I'm trying. I want everybody to get a chance. Mm-hmm. Okay, the link is available. Any and everybody. Mm-hmm. Any and everybody. I have a few little things I'm gonna touch on. I was able to get my offering in, but I'm asking everybody that can tonight to leave something on your way out the door. I didn't get a chance to do it while everybody was here, but that's all right. Be sure to please leave something at the door on your way out for this great discussion tonight. All right. There we go. Okay. I saw Lindy, but we lost Lindy. Bees, you're up. Go ahead.
Ty, I hope you can hear me.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Crystal clear.
Thank you. I'm so sorry that I missed a whole piece of this conversation today, but Tim Bree told me that I have no choice. So higher education has been my industry for longer than I want to admit. And so many of the points that folks were making today made so much sense for me. And there were truths all throughout it. What I will say are these things. Number one, the gatekeeping is real. And so to build off of what Lamar was communicating, it's about power and access. And so whatever you are striving to do in higher ed, the goal should be get to where the power seat is, and that's where the struggle really begins.
Yeah.
It doesn't begin in getting into the school of your choice or getting the career that you want. It is the gatekeeping piece of things, which I think is what he was trying to say with talking about politics and policy. If you are going the trade school route and looking at skills, be really connected to advancements in industry. So marry your trade school experience with learning about tech, learning about civic engagement, so that you're informing policy moving forward that keeps your industry going and keeps the value of your education at 100%. If you are going the higher ed route and you're getting into some of the hard sciences, so I think Lamar mentioned these, arts and medicine, et cetera, the power is you need to know you're going for more than one degree. So it's really about planning for longevity. Do you want to go right after, like in succession? Do you want to stop and work for a minute? It's really having a strategy that is highly detailed, and the focus is not on getting in or coming out. The focus is in the middle. So research says that for our folks, our people, what is most important is retention, and the group of people that have the most impact on retention are staff in higher ed. So these are the people who are not making the decisions at the top, but they keep the power. So in the example of Howard, the financial aid, financial services group, that would be considered staff. And the policy and regulation at that level is what creates a barrier for people who are trying to do all the things they need to do in education. My point is, study the system. So for those who might not know, I won't disclose what university, but I went to and I graduated from and I work at one of the largest universities in the South, preeminent institution, blah, 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 blah. What makes a difference here is legacy. So whoever talks about first generation understanding the struggle, that's a real conversation. We are first, second, maybe third generation in. We're behind. So when I see some of our successful students, it is not because our kids aren't smart. It is because they're having to deal with legacy that started as baby. So we have parents of the other persuasion who will bring their toddlers over here, and you're going to be this and you're going to be that, and let me take you to meet so and so and so and so. It starts early, but it's also something that's nurtured throughout their educational experience. So we don't wait. We should not be waiting until high school to create a pathway to college. That starts at elementary school. It really gets real in middle school, and high school is when you need to be finishing your exploration and getting on the ball. But I want to speak to those of us who started off one way, ended up another way. So that was me. I started pre-law. And the reason I was pre-law was because we had two choices in my house, doctor or lawyer. I started off doctor. I didn't like blood like that, so I ended up lawyer. I finished my education, my last semester. The Lord said, hell no to law, and did not give me a plan for afterwards. So I spent a year working, and I found education. I think we leave room for the divine here. And what I love about, let me say it this way, what I love about us as Black people is that we do have this extra sense about ourselves. We do have a connection with the divine. And I would want us to not miss this part of our development. For what's coming next, it is not about your degree. It is about how you are using your education. And what I mean by this, is this. I am at a land-grant university, which means that there is a marriage between research extension, which is community outreach and instruction. For that, we are trying to solve big problems. How do you feed the world? What technology is useful? What policies and regulations will allow for the most, economic development? These are bigger questions. And so if we are mentoring and reaching back, I think we start there. What problems are we here to see, and what problems are we here to solve, and design that educational pathway to get to those goals. But once you're there, the objective is always get to the power room, and tear down that gatekeeping, because that's what's keeping us from really experiencing the fruit of education. I was with Crystal when we graduated. It was Bush, and there wasn't a path for us, but there were a path for other people. And that's because there was that gatekeeping happening at that higher level. So that's where we strive once we enter the system. And no matter where we enter the system, that's where we should be striving towards. That's all I have, Ty, and I love you and thank you.
I love you more, and you can watch what you missed. Just red ball it back.
I can't wait.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye. Brother Lindy, you're up.
Hey, no, Bees came before me, and I also work in higher education. So I was coming to say the same thing that she was saying as far as institutional power and all those other things. That's what I was trying to get at. The one thing that I will add on to that is making sure that we don't abandon the work that we've already done. I know we had that conversation of, making sure that we're getting into being more doctors, more lawyers, more specialists, and things of that nature to help care for us. And I just want to put out there that I have no disagreement or argue with any of that. I think we need to be making that progress. But as someone who works in higher education, we can't forget about the parts of us that also matter, that feed the soul socially and through the arts and things of that nature, right? We've done some good work as far as making progress, but like Bees was saying, we're not yet to the power of it. We're not yet to what we do. And so teaching here on this campus and being a part of that campus life, I'm starting to see more and more people come here. Kind of like Bees, my story was different. I didn't really get to have I had divine intervention. It was the same thing, doctor or lawyer for me. And Spirit told me neither of those were my path. So now I know what I'm actually doing. I just want to say that we have to make sure that as Black people in the higher education system, we cannot forget trade. We cannot forget any of the other things that may not necessarily be four-year university, advanced degree, or postgraduate education, things of that nature. But just remember, and I want to bring this topic into conversation as well, is a lot of universities and colleges are struggling right now. They are taking a down tick. It is almost like church, where there are less and less people going and attending over years and years. And so we have to make sure that we are in a space for our community that makes sense for us, that looks like us, that represents us, and so that we can be seen and we can be heard as well. So those are just the few things that I had. I just want to add that to the conversation as well.
And that was a really, you and Bees, that was the best book note of the night. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. So let me do my closing. I want to first say this. Please do not email me talking about Lamar and the arts. Okay, I know you got a degree, you got a bachelor in the arts, you got a bachelor in fine arts. That was Lamar that was talking about the arts, not me. You got a degree in dance and you happy. Okay. Email Lamar, not Tyesse. All right. I'll give you Lamar's email address. Okay. But I don't think he's not diminishing, if you have a degree, in something in cinema or film. But please email him. Do not email me because I'll cut you out. Okay, you dance, you do ballet and stuff. Keep spinning. Spin your ass on over to the Lamar's email address. Okay. I've been doing this so long, I can anticipate how people hear. Not how they comprehend it, but how they hear. And that's not what he meant. All right. Okay, so we have to be clear, Ty Squad, about finances. It is raining. It is raining. We have to be clear about finances, right? I think I expect a little bit more out of Roland Martin than if if you can't afford it, you shouldn't go. I kind of expect a little bit more out of Roland, but I'm going to be a realist. I'm going to be a realist here and say that when we are plotting out our academic pathways, we need to explore all options. Now, see, that's how you could have said it, Roland. All right. We need to explore everything, and that includes trade schools and community college, right? Trade schools, community colleges, and so many people are at a point now they're not even going to college. That's a whole new thing. I saw a special on that on 2020. So many people are not even going to school. They're just, hey, like I have my high school diploma, I have a GED, I'm just gonna find me a job. I ain't got time. So, and that's not saying that that's what everybody should go that route. Whatever works for you. Crystal said it best. We got to do whatever works for us. But finance is a real deal. Finance is a real deal. And I want to address also, I want to be clear that most Black parents want the best for their children. Okay. I know there's always conversations about, Black parents, we'll never see them at the school board meetings and we'll never see them over here. And there are Black parents that are very active in their children's lives. And if you ask the average Black mother or father, they want the best. And if they can afford it, they would send their kids off to, prestigious HBCUs. They would. They just can't afford it. And with an administration like we have right now, affordability and higher education is becoming a really distant thing right now. People being able to afford it. And so when we talk about the affordability crisis, it covers a lot of things: higher education, healthcare. Not just, people think we're just talking about food and housing, but no, it encompasses quite a bit, right? I'm very mindful of respectability politics. I know when I hear it, I know when I detect it, right? I'm very mindful of the white gaze that Toni Morrison talks about. Are we doing this for the white gaze? Or are we doing this because we want to present ourselves as a certain way? You want to, have nice clothes on. You want your hair to look presentable. Or are we doing this because we want to be presentable for the white gaze? We have to be careful. And it needs to be articulated properly so that we're not confused about what's this for, Tuskegee, right? What are we doing here? Okay. All right. I'm very mindful when I hear respectability politics, because, if they just put up their pants and take these bonnets off, nothing's going to happen. I promise you. It'll put starch in our backs. It'll make us look good as a people. But white supremacy will still be the order of the day. The country will still be founded on racism. Yeah. So we're just running around with pants pulled up and no bonnets on and still living in a racist country. All right. But I'm not saying it's not a good thing to look presentable when you walk outside your door, because mama said never go nowhere barefaced and empty-handed. Ty. All right. It did not, Brandy. It did not. All right, y'all. I think y'all have done a great job. I didn't have to do a lot of commentary because y'all really gave it sound. This is a conversation that's really ripping. It's tearing at the seams right now of the Black community, especially the Howard story, because with all this DEI and all of these attacks on our culture right now, the last thing we want to deal with is seeing our young people struggle to live out their academic dreams. So there's already enough being done to us and against us. This is it seems people feel like this is something from our own to us, but we also have to understand that there is a business aspect to higher education too. There's finances, there's checks and balances. So we have to, like Crystal Marie said, we got to look at this from, it's very nuanced, right? Very nuanced. We got to look at this, this is still a business. It's a HBCU, it's a college, it's a university, but it's also a business aspect to it too. Professors have to be paid, faculty have to be paid. There's a lot going on. And grant money and money from the government is not coming in the way it was a few years ago, right? Okay. This convo was so good. It's evil trying to prevent people from having access to their dreams. Yeah, I mean, you look at, I take him very unseriously. 47. I look who he put over the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, who has a history in damn wrestling, right? So we don't take him serious at all, And yeah, that is a good point, Crystal. I mean, I think the thing is that when we have conversations, if somebody has a difference of opinion, that don't mean that your point is not valid. Like, okay, I totally understood what Crystal Marshall meant. I understood what she meant because I've seen reports on it, on television, online. People are, graduating from prestigious universities and cannot find anything. We've seen it on the news. We've seen it online. Graduating, got a whole PhD and cannot find a job. And so when it comes to that, yes, it is just a piece of paper. And the piece about, it's much more than just getting a degree. Yes, it is much more than getting a degree. Going to a university is about culture. It's about life, the experience. I think in a lot of cases, a lot of folks are going to these universities. They may not want to go to a university like our sister LaTanya said. She chose to go to another university that was, more affordable. A lot of people want to go to a university sometime because of the name and because of what their alumni sticker is going to look like. See, y'all don't like this kind of teaching, and you may not be in the shape, the financial shape to go to that university. You may be able to go to another university that's a little cheaper, but you don't want to go there. People don't want to tell the truth that I'm going there because I know I'm going to be an alumni of Howard. Okay. But can you afford it right now? I know there were some technical things. That happened. Whereas, they said people didn't have money and was able to, come in with the payment, but by then it was too late. I think Howard, I'm going to be honest, I know it's a business, but I think Howard, in the age that we're in with all this DUI and the erasure of Black people, Howard should have really thought this one through a little more detailed and saw what they can do. Because when you have Governor Hochul over there basically telling all y'all can come over here to the big house, that's how it looks to me. When you got a white woman talking about y'all can come over here with us, it feels plantation-like to me. I know this higher education, but when you see a white woman, the optics to me, I'm getting triggered from the optics. Y'all can't go over there. Come on around here to us. But on the flip side of that, Crystal Marshall said it, and at the risk of sounding oxymoronic, it may be a blessing that you know, you get this $800 credit and we're gonna take you in and we're gonna help you do what you gotta do. You know? That is true. That is true, Bees. Yeah, I don't know how I was going through, honey. I don't know. There's my sister. Hey, Timmy, I sent you a text earlier. I said, Timmy, I need you.
I know I saw it, but I hit Bees because I say, Bees, this is your lane tonight.
That's her wheelhouse. That's her wheelhouse.
That's her wheelhouse. And sometimes I say, I'm just hitting here twirling my toes because this conversation is so rich, so rich.
Yeah.
And I said, somebody needs to send Roland Martin a link to this page because, here's the respect of it all. When sometimes when we can have, and this is where it gets good and rich, when you can come on and all three of the Crystals was on and Cassandra was on and Lamar was on and everybody, you don't have to agree. You can agree to disagree respectfully. And man, that brings so much to the conversation because if you notice, everybody was coming on, they say, well, I agree with this one, but I agree with this one too.
Yeah.
See,
you don't have to take offense. It doesn't have to be offensive.
No. And that's what I love. But then Bees came in because Bees said something, and that's where she struck me. And I said, I'm not hitting this link tonight. I'm not hitting it. I'm just not. But Bees brought in something on where it comes to us as an African American or the Black diaspora, is that we have that one extra niche, which is, they're not saying that the non-melanated people don't, but there is something that we have in our spiritual Black bags that causes us to move to that extra level. And sometimes, and we have that, what you might call it, that it factor. And it's that level of spirituality with education that makes us different. And I'm going to share this here and I'm going to get off real quick. Because let me just tell you, from the spiritual standpoint, and so I'm just going to put the icing on the cake. In us, if we understood and knew who we were, what we have and what we come here to be successful is not necessarily in college. Yes, college teach you things really about analyzing and all this kind of thing that you might not. And I'm going to say that because my brother, a musician, back in the day, and when she was talking, Cassandra was talking, the Howard University from the the 50s and the 60s when Martin Luther King and all of them went through there and all of that, and all coming up through all of the civil rights era, a lot of those came out of Howard University and all of the musicians. Howard University was the hot spot for law, engineering, and especially in the arts, music and the actors. That's why you have Taraji P. Henson, you got Angela Winbush, you have all of those who came out of Howard University during 1969, 70, 71. Howard was producing Donny Hathaway, all of them came out of Howard University during that era. Howard was huge. Here we go to what Crystal Marshall was talking about when you're talking about being very specific. Howard was known for certain things. Dental school, most of your dental professionals came out of Howard University. So it goes back to if you're specifically talking about a thing. Now, for me, my brother went to Howard, got his master's and bachelor's in music, and taught in DC public school systems for well over 55 years. Trained and taught many of the DC musicians. Me, I went to Georgetown because I was interested in radio, television, broadcasting, communications. But here's the thing. Now someone else came in and talked about experience. Experience is what a lot of people are looking for and pay. Now, here we go. I holding my certifications and everything in TV broadcasting. But my first job was National Automobile Dealers Association. Now, hold on to that point. And the National Automobile Dealers Association built their headquarters in what we call Tyson's Corner, Virginia. That's down there where Michelle Holly is and all of them at. But here goes the thing. I was just a clerk in National Automobile Dealers Association, sitting with my nice little degree from Georgetown in TV broadcasting. But the husband of my manager, who was in DC, because all of us had to relocate and go down to Tyson's, Virginia. She says, Brenda, I'm going back up to DC to work. I don't like this commute. She says, some of her husband, he was a CPA at a firm in DC. She said, you want to go back to DC? Now, here's the thing. I had a job offer in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to be an on-air radio announcer, and I was doing radio here in DC at the local radio station. And one of the owners in here was going to send me up to have my own show in Philadelphia. At that time, now I'm really aging myself, but at that time, they were going to pay me $9,000. This accountant, CPA, who had we had the largest consulting for back in the day, they had temp agencies. If people know who used to work for temporary agencies. At that point was offering me $12,000. But listen, he didn't want someone from college to train to be an accountant. He wanted someone he could train himself to intern with him, that he could train him personally himself, because he didn't want the person with the book knowledge. He wanted a person with hands-on knowledge. Okay. Can I tell you, I have student loan from Georgetown, but I went to, it was a company called back in the day, the largest temporary help agency in the United States. I went and sat under an accountant there. And lo and behold, I learned what you call a trade. It was a trade then, but I learned all of my accounting skills from another CPA who was the CPA, who was a top, CPA of this company. I went on to work for CPA firms all over the in DC area. That became, now I'm sitting with a degree in one thing, but what was my gift inside me, and that's what my testimony is to tell to y'all tonight. I never went to school for accounting at all. Someone taught me that from just working in the industry. And from there, I took it off and went a whole nother direction with it. I done lived my whole life, sent all of my children to college with, here we go, student loans again, for something that God gave me for free. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I made a whole living off of accounting and running the top accounting firms in DC, and never went to school for. I went to school for broadcast journalism, but made a living in accounting and rose all the way up to the top of the chain, to the Jewish companies in DC. So what God has for you, it's already in you. All it takes is the word, the Greek, the Hebrew word, where education comes out of, educo, which means to lead out of that which is already in you. So math and accounting, and same thing for my daughter. My daughter, I sent her then on to Virginia Wesleyan. She came back and went to University of Maryland. Never did accounting. But that gift is in her. So my message to you all tonight is tap into what you love to do the most Tap into your gift, because Ty, you on your way to making millions if you are not already a millionaire. But you know what? It's the gift that's already in you that God gave you.
Yeah.
It's not always, and I'm saying that I'm not disparaging universities or anything to that, but I am saying that your gift will make room for you. And I'm just saying that it's already, when you came here, God came, when you came into this world, the gift of who you were to become, you just need to tap into that. And it takes your parents to lead and guide you. And when they see the gift in you and pay attention to, they can tell which way you're going.
Yeah.
You know, they can tell what interests you and hold your interest the most.
Mm-hmm.
And if I told somebody when I came out of junior high school, 7th grade, that I couldn't do math, I couldn't comprehend it. I could not comprehend math. I thank God for my math teacher who did not want me to stay back in middle school, didn't want me to hold me back from going to high school. She said, "Come here, Brenda, come here, help. I'm going to show you how to do this much." I'm forever grateful to her this day, because she wanted to pass me. But I could not comprehend math. That teacher, if she knew, and I keep looking for her, and I know she's probably well into her 90s now, but it was because of that teacher that math became what paid my bills. Math is what became me buying not one house in the District of Columbia, but 2 houses. Math is what put my children through college. But yet math is not what I went to college for. And I'm saying to you, the gift is already in you. And grateful, and I'm paying student. And right now, my name is on a debt, even for my daughter right now. And, you know, because of University of Maryland and other school. But she is now, and here we go, the position that she has now, she's at the top of the food chain for one of the largest, not the Kaiser Foundation. I mean the hospital, but the parent company who owns the Kaiser. Okay. And running the company. But you know what? It's not because of what college does do, and this is what I want to tell. College helps you to analyze, to research, to do all of that. But what you go to college for may not be what you know what your major is. But college that helps you to analyze and to think, and to think outside the box. And you can find that in community college as well.
Yeah. See,
so because once you can think and analyze, sky's the limit for, unless you're going into a specific, like if you're going to be a surgeon. And I hear that's what Crystal was talking about. Unless you are specifically going into a specialized area. In the place where we are right now with Trump, if you can make good money to take care of yourself, because they've wiped out everything, because they understood when they allowed Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, when they allowed all of us to go through, because back in the day in the 60s was get your degree, get a degree, get a degree. They found out that, oh, they want to take our jobs. Oh, they want to be mayor. Oh, they want to be senators. So, you know, back in the day, we all went and got our degrees. We got our lawyers. We got all everything. But once they figured out that we were taking their positions and their children's positions, oh, here comes the crack cocaine. Here comes the fentanyl. We got to lock them up. Here comes the privatized prison systems, everything to hold us back and throw us back, because they want to have the same positions we do. Oh, now let's remove, Clarence Thomas, the same things that you came through on to get your degree, the affirmative action. Oh, now they remove that. No, now let's remove they remove everything that made the playing field even. Yeah. See, so now we have to, and that's what Crystal was talking about. Listen, if we're going to go into debt, be wise in our thinking. If we're going to get financial education debt, let it be a wise choice and think, where you're going to go to school. Yes, I want to send my daughter to Spelman, but at that time I could not afford Spelman. So I had to send her to Virginia Wesleyan. But she did her 2 years of Virginia Wesleyan because they were who was giving the scholarships at that time. She did her 2 years over there and then hopped over to University of Maryland. So you got to do what you got to do. So that's all I wanted to share. That other part, got to put a little testimony in it for those of us who can't afford it. Listen, where you can't afford it, God always will make a way and make a way of escape and give you what you need and tap into that which is already within you. Yeah. Lamar did say this: if I go to trade school, I can earn a living there, and they can't take that away. And you can build upon that, and then you can own the accounting firm. You can own your construction company. You can own your own plumbing business because it's about ownership. You can own your own podcast. Come on here now. I'm getting out of here now.
You preach, man. The way you close this out, I don't even have to do my closing. Thank you. Between you, Lindy, and Bees, I'm so good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. When you said that to say I need you, I said I can't let him down. I can't let him down. But I can't let him down. But I told Bees, come on in here. This is your wheelhouse. The crystals, y'all bless me tonight. Y'all, this Tyesse Squad, somebody send this clip to Roland Martin. This is black excellence, black commentary at its best. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sis.
Great job, Tyesse Squad tonight. This was an educational night. Everybody, they say rewind that they do in the basketball, run the replay. Run the replay on this one.
All right.
Hey, how do you hype that? That's another thing. Ask me, because while I got all of my smart people, where on the screen do you go to hype the video?
Well, you hype it, you go to the video, and then you go to the comment section. Let me see. You go right to the comments where you leave a comment at. And then you just swipe over. Hold on.
See, I never see the thing say hype.
Okay, it says comments, right? It says comments, and then you just gonna swipe over, swipe, and then right after the first swipe, it says hype this video.
Oh, okay. I kept looking for the word hype, and I
never. It says hype this video right there.
Okay, y'all, we got to hype this video because this here,
I appreciate
all of the things in this video from everybody. This panel was on fire tonight. Education. Look. We can talk the junk when we want to, but we got some educated folks in this chat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we can bring it. God bless y'all all. Look, they say in midnight now. Now we
thank you so much.
All right, love you.
Wally beloved, thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We got one more person back here. Let me see what's going on. Hey,
Ty, this is Latanya. I'm just gonna be really quick.
Okay.
I have a student who just graduated. I'm in Louisiana, Hammond, Louisiana.
Okay.
She just graduated. This girl has a 32 on her ACT. She graduated with 55 hours of credit for college. And we couldn't find this girl a free ride to any university. So I'm saying that to say the cost of higher education is an issue. With this, she made 1B her whole academic career, 1B, and she couldn't get scholarships to pay for school. So she would have still had to pay like $8,000 a year, I mean a semester, to go to LSU. We wound up getting her enrolled into another university where now she's going to be getting a refund back. This university was a little less expensive. So I'm saying that to say the grants and the things that we get is different from 30 years ago when I first started college.
Yes.
So we do need to be aware of what money is available to these students and what we can do to help mentor them the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. When I was in school, we got Pell Grants, we got
Oh yeah.
scholarships, student loans, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Trump has changed a lot of that.
Oh yes.
And one more thing I'm going to say. So we were in a little bit of small town in Albany, Louisiana. This girl graduated #1 out of 120. They no longer have top 10 at her school. They stopped recognizing top 10. So the scholarships that you would get for being valedictorian, she wasn't able to get that. And of course, she's one of our kids. Albany is a little small town, and they probably didn't want to recognize a black student as valedictorian, being #1 over all those students. So she lost all those scholarships. Y'all, systemic racism is real. I wish I could talk to Bees or talk to our other brother that's in higher education because I'm so sad that this baby is not getting a free ride.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Thank
Well,
you so much for this discussion. This was
yes.
excellent.
What you can do is put your email in the chat if you have a email you're willing to share.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, put it in the chat, and I'm sure somebody will hit you up.
Okay.
Just put
Thank
it in
you
the
so
chat.
much, Ty. And
All
this
right.
is why you're different than the slop bucket people. You bring real conversations. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be honest. I used to listen to the one that need therapy with our brother Larry. I don't know why a friend need therapy, but I used to listen to him. I told YouTube, do not recommend that person. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. The one that's cooking for his man, the hot spicy fish, none of them. This is why you're different, and I thank you so much.
All right. Bye bye. Put your
You can
email
drop me
in.
down.
Put your email in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I cannot, y'all. I cannot. Somebody just sent me. I kid you not. Somebody just sent this to me. They said, "Did you see Leandria going off on a certain blogger?" Y'all send that to me. I'm not gonna say the blogger's name, but y'all know that blogger was, child. Oh my God. Send it to me. Send it to me. Whoever got it, send it to me. They said Leandra was going off on that blogger. All right. Timbree just really just like she poured that oil out of that alabaster box because so oftentimes people do not even understand. You be beating your head against the wall, and like the woman said in The Wiz, she said, "Baby," she said, "You mean to tell me I could have been home all this time?" She said, "You always had it." She said, "Wait a minute. You mean to tell me I could have been home a long time ago?" "Yes, sweetheart. You already had everything it takes." So, just know that God is always going to make a way. There's always going to be a path. What I do know, I ain't trying to get too oily this late, but what I do know is this. I know this, y'all. If you make one step, God will make two. That's an old saying, but it's true. And how can I say it? When I was, trying to transition out of Hollywood, I just started doing different things. And then I don't know, one thing will open up and another thing will open up and then another thing will open up. But once I started just trying, putting an effort forth, trying to better myself and do better. Once I started that, it's like every door just started opening. It was like a domino effect, you know. And I went to when Tim Reed was talking about math, I totally relate. Like math was just not my strong suit. When we start getting into advanced math, oh no, calculus, algebra, what? Girl, bye. Like, yeah. And so I was worried. I was worried about trying to go to community college. You know, when I went to LACC and I went for about 3-4 semesters. So basically, Squad, when I went to LACC, when I did not have a high school diploma, I didn't have a GED either. And so in order to go to college, they make you take this ability to benefit test. You know, you have to take, it's called the ATB test. So, oh my God, okay. I know math is a part of it. And you know, you be psyching yourself up, you're not gonna pass. You be psyching yourself up. I kid you not. And so I took the ability to benefit test for those that do not have a diploma or a GED, and I passed it, and I was shocked that I passed it. Because I'm saying, like, if I don't pass this, you know, they don't have any other way for you to come to college. So I'm like, what do I do? Like, if I don't pass this? And then I think you have to wait so long before you can take it again. And so I took the ability to benefit test, and I nailed it, you know. But I say all that, some people don't even go because they already discourage themselves. They don't even go and get started on nothing because I ain't gonna pass, I ain't gonna make it. What if I had done that? Gave up before I got started. You know, I enjoyed LACC. I enjoyed. No, it's not HBCU and it's not a PWI, but I enjoyed college life. I learned a lot because I took every Afro-American studies class they had. I took them all. That's why I got a lot of information from that I did not know about from school, from traditional schools. So Los Angeles City College was a really fun time for me. It was a great time for me. And no, it wasn't Howard. No, it was not Yale, but it was something for me to start building my life anew. And God just started opening up doors back to back to back to back to back. And that is the word of the Lord. All right. And you too, Tyesse Report. It's never too late to rebuild or step out or try something new. It's never too late. Yeah, the trigonometry, I told him, I said, honey, ma'am, you out of your mind if you think I can figure that out. I said, no, you can't do it. Okay, honey, listen, I'm letting you know. For me, it's subtraction, addition, multiplication, and division. That's it. After that, we're done. She said, okay, that's what we call basic math. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. After that, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Ain't nothing wrong with community college. Please know that. Ain't nothing wrong with trade school. Ain't nothing wrong with a vocational school either. Yeah. And so many of us, I think, we'll be shocked how easy it is once we take the time, sis, to learn it and figure it out, right? Once we took the time and figured it out, ain't nothing wrong with it. Sometimes it takes the brain a while to reset. That's true. That's true. So I love math. Well, I don't love math. I love history, but my thing was always geography. I have no idea why I have an affinity to maps, states, the way states are shaped to this day. I just do. I love geography. Ever since I was a child, I love state capitals, state birds, state flags. the different cities in the state, the attractions of the state, the natural resources of the state. Hell, I could have gotten into some sort of, some sort of geography field, whatever that entails. Man, you would think I would have a lot of geography books in here. I don't. I remember Ty told you about Khan Academy. You can see. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. It was raining outside. Y'all have to go set my plants outside. Get some of that good rainwater. I dropped out of nursing school because of math, but God made me away from me in the medical field. And yeah, I'm telling you, it's always, God has always just been somewhere in the cut. Just, yeah, like I got you. Ever since I was a child, he always been somewhere in the cut. But y'all, I had no idea we've been on 3. It does not feel like 3.5 hours. It don't. This is supposed to be a Tuesday night little Tuesday night thing. And child, this turned into a whole Tyesse Report, one for the record books. All right. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Gonna eat me some applesauce. There was a time when I would be knocking out a steak and a baked potato right now. But I'm about to eat me some applesauce and drink me some water. I know. All right. Some of y'all was with me in LA. Right now, we'll be knocking out a whole lobster plate. Okay. Can y'all do me a big favor? Have a great night on purpose. I love you. And I will see you on tomorrow. We have Rip from the Headlines. I am going to get out early tomorrow and do some shopping because it's still going to be in the 90s. You have to turn your camera on, sweetheart. Turn your camera on. Let me see. Can you show your face a little bit? Okay. You can turn your camera on. Okay. Hey.
Hello, Bishop. I just wanted to, I'm not coming here to specifically speak on the topics that you're talking about. I really come to encourage you. I appreciate what it is that you do by way of putting things out there and having meaningful discussion, and that you are actually talented. I struggle with ADHD, and so when I'm working, I have to have things playing in the background, and I can always count on Tyesse to keep me entertained and encouraged. So I appreciate what you're doing, Bishop. And I'm gonna send you a cash app to let you know how much I love you. I'm in Jamaica. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much, Tiff.
I thank you. I really do. I'm not bullcorning because I listen to other bloggers and they kind of get washed out with some of the stuff they talk about. You know, you got the same thumbnail every day, every 30 minutes, but Tyesse really got, like, if you don't even have a topic to speak on, your personality is enough to just get on here and engage us. So I don't take that lightly, that whatever has you been through that made you to be who you are. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's the best nightcap ever. Thank you, Tiff.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Man, that was really nice. That was really, really nice. Close that out. Now, as y'all can see, my eyes heavy, but I'm all right. My eyes are heavy, but I'm all right. God is good, y'all. God is good. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out here early tomorrow, y'all. I left out too late today. So I'm gonna get out here early tomorrow. I rescheduled my doctor's appointment. They had a Saturday appointment. So I thank God for that. I'm gonna go Saturday. It'll be cooler. Have you found the equivalency to the? Oh my God! They have Brother Ben. They got a place on Caroline in Moreland. They have a place called Extreme Teriyaki. Yeah, they got Extreme Teriyaki, and then they got this place called Teriyaki Madness. So there are two places but nobody will taste like Yoshinoya in California. Yeah, the only thing about Yoshinoya is mainly, I think, a West Coast chain. So yeah, man, nobody will be able to touch that West Coast Yoshinoya. But They have teriyaki madness and they have extreme teriyaki. Yeah. There's a place in the Lenox Mall. I may go tomorrow, as a matter of fact. There's a place in the Lenox Mall. They have that, but to me, it's overpriced. You know, they got a little, teriyaki over white rice. You can substitute brown rice or fried rice. I always get the brown rice with extra broccoli, Yeah, but man. Oh my God, Ben, why don't you bring that up? I mean, that was our go-to after the club. Me and Ariel, me and Bam Bam. Ariel had this old white van. She had like a little. It was so hilarious. So she had this little white van that we used to roll around in, and that's back in the days before me and her had the financial stability. We were just trying to make it, but she had this little white van, and child, the door on the side opened up, and it'd be 3, 4, 5 of us in the back, and we would go to Yoshinoya after the club, and that was just like, it was just some good food. It was just good food after the club. Those were the days. I was just talking to somebody, Mahogany. I was talking to my sister Mahogany on the phone, and I said, those days are just precious, And when we were living it, we never thought about the day that a lot of us will be gone on. We would not be, here anymore. So, yeah, I remember. Yeah, Yoshinoya, legendary. There was also a place down by Donut Time called Benito's. It was legendary, but they went out of business. They had the best burritos, But Brother Ben, you done sparked some nostalgia with that one, y'all. All right, let me get out of here. I'll probably be on once tomorrow. Maybe a check-in from the streets of Atlanta tomorrow. Weather permitting. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed tonight in any capacity, those are your ways to give, including Chime. Those are your ways to give. You want to reach out to me? You can reach out to me via email. The email is at the bottom of your screen. Okay. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Honey, I'm everywhere. And then we're trying to get this Substack started. So I'll let y'all know about Substack next month. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Great conversation. I gotta go because I gotta lay my behind down somewhere. I gotta go. I got to go. All right. Good night, everybody. Cue the music.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should ride on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love. I've been feeling like the motherfucking man lately. Can't nobody do it like I can daily. Baddest in the land. Body turn your nigga.
Be sure to hype the video. I did not see an email for her, but if you're watching, you can also send me the email to the sister that was trying to get the scholarships. You can send me the email, but no, I didn't see an email for her. All right.
Body turn your nigga to a fanny up. Fanny up. I made it where I'm at on my own. Had a couple blocks in the road, but I get to the bag on the loan. I be counting stacks while they grow, yeah, you know me. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me some Baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Good. Know it's all love.
I know as soon as I put my head on the pillow, I'm going out, y'all. Good night. Good night. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Woo, child. All right. Good night. Good night, Howard and Tuskegee.